Live from Akron Ellet High School, this is the SmeeSports Pregame Show, live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel as we flip things around to our view here in the press box. He's Bryce Fisher, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening, while also on the actual pregame show of sorts, and it appears that our camera did get unplugged for a moment here, so we're going to try to work on that as we work through this. So many technical difficulties so far today, it has been very tough, so we're going to try and sort that out here in a minute. Let's see if there's anything we can do in the meantime. And there we go. We are back on, and we're actually on camera now. There's Bryce. There's me. We're good to go.
Yeah, we're had a lot of technical difficulties, but we're ready to get it rocking and rolling here.
I don't know what has been worse. Technical difficulties, feed dropping, guy runs a stop sign. I hit him because I can't brake in time. We've had everything over the past couple of hours. Just glad to be here and glad to be seeing some Friday night lights. First of all, I want to thank Akron Ellet High School for hosting us this evening. It is a tight press box. They made room for us, so we are very grateful for them for doing so. And secondly, Bryce, you're making your commentary debut for football.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a good one. You know, we have a really good game tonight. I'm excited to get started and have a good time. Before
we look to tonight, we're going to look at last week to begin things today. And I think the place that we have to go to first is Akron Ellet's 40-20 loss against Kent Roosevelt. A tough one. Still 1-2 on the year. They had one win all of last year. So this has been an overall positive start for the Orangemen.
100%. And, you know, what really killed them last week was penalties. As long as they can limit the penalties and self-inflicted harm, they can definitely make some dividends here and put a little bit of a tight squeeze on Alliance, who's been coming off of some really good games the past few weeks.
And speaking of the Aviators, you look at their last game. Supposed to go to Streetsboro and lose by 20-plus points to a team that is ranked in the top 10 in the state of Ohio in Division III. Instead, it is a running clock 46-13 victory over Streetsboro. A big point of emphasis from Coach Goodman was winning the line of scrimmage. They won it and then some.
100%. They had a really good rushing attack, and J.R. Jackson, you know, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but he might have broke out as a true dual-threat quarterback.
And we'll talk about his stats. That's a big thing to look at. The offense is more balanced this year. The big thing in 2024 was adjusting from Brendan Zerbrug's offense to his successor's offense. At one point, that was thought to be Bo Davis. In the end, he was not named QB1 past week 4. That's when JR took over. JR got a couple of wins on the board late against Minerva and Marlington, and he also was involved in the win against Salem. But right now, with a win tonight, they matched their win tally from last year, and they still have 6 more games to go. You have one more non-conference game, that's Canton Central. Then you go through the gauntlet of the EBC. I would say 4 extremely winnable games in there. And then the tough one, it's the team that hasn't lost in the EBC since 2019, West Branch.
Yeah, and we all know that West Branch is going to be a challenge, but they have a really good chance to cement themselves for a high seed in the playoffs the next 3 weeks, having all home games. And not the toughest opponents, but very challenging still, say so.
And looking at the last game that we did for football before we go to break, Minerva and Springfield, it was supposed to be a close game. Akron Springfield was supposed to battle in there. But Minerva, they had other plans. 34-0 the final. You've been around the Canton area all your life pretty much. You've seen Minerva go from a top team to now where they are trying to get back to their best. But what do you think that win means for their community, a community that has been hungry to see some football wins?
It means a lot. And, you know, having friends over there, knowing people who've been in the broadcast booth with them before, they've been looking and waiting for it. It's been a tough road, having a few rough seasons, but they're definitely looking to get back on the right track this year, and that's a huge step.
And getting back on the right track for both of the teams tonight means something completely different. One, it's just this year. The other one, it is for the last couple of seasons. But more on these two squads when we return. We're going to step aside and hear a word from our sponsor. Time locally here in Akron is around 6:20, and we will turn things back over to the field as we will see Alliance along with Ellet warming up on your screen. You are watching the SmeeSports Pregame Show live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Welcome back to Akron Ellet High School as you are watching the SmeeSports Pregame Show live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Bryce Fisher alongside me, and I am Nathan Smee on the call for you, while also being your pregame host this evening. Let's talk about these two teams in more depth. First of all, we're going to look at the home team, and that is Akron Ellet. Ellet, they are a team that is ready to get back to their best, a team that over the past couple of years has had their struggles, but they're still a good football team in there somewhere, and a big part of this year is getting back to their roots.
100%. They have the athletes to do so. I think it's going to take a lot to get a win over a very hot Alliance team, but I think they can definitely do so as long as they push and win the battle in the front in the inside the trenches.
There we go. New head coach this year. You have Rob Sachs coming over from Uniontown Lake. He was a longtime assistant of Coach DeGeorge, 7 years to be exact. But for those in Akron, they remember him for his tenure over at Garfield, a very successful coach over there, coached a couple of future NFL prospects. You look at the roster for Ellet, so many kids, 6'1", 6'2", 230, 240. They have the makings of a good football team, and I feel like they have the makings as well for a couple of top-tier prospects.
Definitely, and we've always seen very good prospects come out of the Akron-Canton area. And I think as he begins to solidify his schemes and his type of program, they'll definitely be pumping out a lot more top-tier talent.
And as well, when you look at their roster, it's not just guys who have been in the program for a long time. A couple of newcomers have been sprinkled in. It's a good mixture of both. You have the experience from the last regime, but you also have a group that Coach Sachs can really make his own and instill his ideology in.
Yeah, and that's huge, especially for a coach that's coming over to a program that he's never been at before. They have to be willing to buy in, and the guys who have been here before might struggle to do so, and those newcomers, it might come easy. But as long as you get a good mix who buy in and the ones who are going to have the returners also buy in, you have a very, very good chance to win some very meaningful football games.
And before we talk about the Alliance Aviators, it's a big question right now. Is Ellet starting to become a threat once again in the Akron City Series? 1-2 right now, but you look at the rest of their schedule, dare we say a potential 500 team?
I think they can. I think they definitely can make it there. It's going to be a lot on their players, though. They have to be willing to compete for that and show the effort that Coach Sachs is looking for.
Now going over to the Alliance Aviators, there we go. Big upset win on the road at Streetsboro. You're supposed to lose by 20, but then things flip. You go into a setting and you have a running clock put on the team that's supposed to beat you by that much. Just what does that say about the Aviators right now as, well, it's an upset. It's a big one.
It says a lot. They're a team that's ready to compete. A lot of people had them ran off, and they did not write back. They want to be here. They're hungry, and they're ready to win some football games.
3-7 last year. A chance to improve to 3-1 tonight. If that is done, do we think that this is a year that Alliance can not only make it back to the playoffs for the first time post-Zerbrug, but on top of that, can they host a playoff game, meaning they're a top 8 seed?
I think they can. I think with the remainder of their schedule and some home games that'll give them a good chance to make some dividends, they definitely have a chance to host one of those playoff games, especially with the expanded divisions of OHSAA football. That'd be huge for them.
Before we go to break and turn it over to our predictions, I think we have a big question to ask of Alliance outside of the team as a whole, but on one player, J.R. Jackson. Can we, after last week, officially call him a true elite? Elite's the key word here. Dual threat quarterback.
I think you definitely can. Through 10 games last year, he totaled, I think it was about 500 passing yards, and this year, through 3 games, he's already halfway there. I think he's definitely become his own type of player, and he's going to continue attacking with the ball downfield.
Down on the field, we hear some cheering and some chanting from the Alliance Aviators. 33 minutes until kickoff, but I think it's time that we step aside and hear a word from our sponsors. But when we return, do you like to see people make very bold statements that are wrong? Do you like to hear predictions? And do you like to see myself end up in last place? All those things will happen when we return, as it is time for some predictions and some keys to victory. Time locally in Akron is 6:26 as you are watching the SmeeSports Pregame Show on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Welcome back to Akron Ellet High School. Time locally is 6:27. As we mentioned, it is time for predictions. So let's join our quote-unquote third member of the group, Gabe Koza from down in Cincinnati, and we will hear his thoughts on Week 4 of the OHSAA football season.
Thank you, Smee, and here are my predictions for this week's Ohio High School football action. Game 1, Kenston versus NDCL. I think NDCL wins this one and continues their winning streak. Game 2, Brush versus Willoughby South. I'm going to go Willoughby South in this one. Game 3, Cheney versus Boardman. I'm going to go Cheney. Game 4, East Liverpool versus Salem. I'm going to go East Liverpool in this one. Game 5, Massillon Perry versus Warren Harding. It's going to be a close one. I'm going to go Warren Harding. Game 6, Gilmore versus Hawken. I'm going to go Gilmore in this one. Game 7, Strongsville versus Olmsted Falls. I think Strongsville picks up another win here and continues their winning streak as well. Game 8, Shaker Heights versus Solon. I'm going to go Shaker Heights in this one. Solon has struggled to start off the season. Game 9, Avon versus Glenville, the big one for this week. This is a tough one to pick, but I think Glenville's got it in them, man. They won a close Game 1 against a very good Massillon team. And I think they just continue that streak. Just so many talented players on that Glenville team, but it's honestly a coin flip. Game 10, Brea Mid-Park versus Brecksville. I'm going to go Brea Mid-Park. Game 11, Howland versus Marlington. I'm going to go Marlington. Game 12, Cloverleaf versus Carrollton. I'm going to go Cloverleaf in this one. Game 13, Cuyahoga Falls versus Southeast Ravenna. I'm going to go Cuyahoga Falls in this one. Game 14, Akron East versus Canton South. I'm going to go Akron East in this one. And then Game 15, got to rock with the namers. So, thank you guys.
Well, there you have it, Gabe Koza, our stat leader for predictions. That is what he thinks is going to happen this week. And now the question is he right or is he wrong? I can say he's wrong all I want, but let's be real. He is probably right. Now as I pull up my copy of predictions, let us start at the top. Medina Shaker Heights, game number 1. I am going with the Battling Bees. Bryce, who do you have?
I've got the Battling Bees right there with you. I think they'll win by 3.
Time to go and check Instagram. 80% of the fan vote. My goodness, 91 total votes for Medina. This might be the biggest fan engagement week, albeit I posted it half asleep last night at midnight. But this is great. We're getting more fan engagement, so thank you all at home for participating in this exercise. They have Medina. We'll hear from Cam in a few moments as I will just read his off at the end of this segment. Number 2, one of our favorite teams to cover, Padua Franciscan. It's an awkward 7:30 start time tonight as they take on the Sandusky Blue Streaks. I have the Blue Streaks getting back to their winning ways and improving to 2-2 on the air.
Yeah, my buddy pitcher over there, Brandon Tillman, he told me to pick Padua, so I'm going with Padua by 7.
Picking Tillman's pick, and so are the fans at home. 68% are going with the Bruins. I love Coach Kubit. I love that squad, but something about those Sandusky Blue Streaks, I think they get it done tonight. But once again, I am technically in last place, so take that with a grain of salt. Game number 3, maybe the biggest one in the Youngstown area, Canfield and the Bulldogs of Poland. The fan vote is going with Canfield, and so am I.
Yeah, I got Poland. I know a couple people that transferred in. I think they'll have a really good chance. I got Poland by 5 in that one tonight.
And if you saw the hype video from Poland, they posted video from the last time they beat Canfield, and that was a WKBN game of the week. So for those who saw that, they understand that clip. Game number 4, maybe the biggest game in Cleveland. It is St. Ed's and Glenville. I picked Glenville last week, and Ted Ginn Sr. let me down. He is not letting me down this week. Give me Lombardo's, boys.
I've got to go with St. Edwards. They're a powerhouse. I can't ever go against St. Edwards, so St. Edwards is my pick tonight.
And same with the fan vote. Moments ago, number 98 just voted for St. Ed's. 55 went with Glenville, but it's Fly, Eagles fly tonight. Then the next game, Copley and Talmadge, a game that is taking place not too far away from here. The fan vote is going with the old home of DeJuan Owens, the Massillon quarterback who won them the state title. I am also going with Copley. Bryce, who do you have?
I have Copley as well in that one. I think they're just the better team tonight.
Clean sweep for the Indians. Game number 6, a highly contested affair. Sandy Valley looking for win number 1. Minerva looking for win number 3. I say the Lions get it.
I just can't go with Minerva just yet. I got to stick with Sandy Valley. I got them winning by 1 in a real close matchup.
I'm sure if Daniel Clark tunes in, he is going to be appalled to see that his predecessor in the booth went against his beloved Minerva Lions. Last week he made a joke that his favorite color was blue. He was swiftly corrected by Minerva, and his favorite color is now red. The fan vote, they are going very narrowly with Minerva, 55-52 in the fan vote, so we will see. And as well, speaking of Marlington, Louisville, 91.1 WRMU is there, and the person calling the game just messaged me. This is going to be a very fun message to look at after. Shout out Ramsey Reith. They'll do a good job tomorrow on the road for Mount Union football as they take on Grove City. Nice little segue there as the Durs look to improve to 2-0. The next game, Bedford and Brush, a very interesting affair. A game we always see in basketball, but now we get to see it in football. I am going with the Bearcats. They got that upset win over Padua in overtime. I think it kind of flows through, and they get it done again.
Yeah, I've got Bedford here. I got Bedford winning another close one by 4.
As for myself, once again, I think I said I had Bedford, and so does the fan votes. Moving on to the next one, it is Berea Mid-Park and Amherst Steel. The fan vote goes with Berea. What do? I go with Amherst.
I'm right with you. I think Amherst is going to beat them by a touchdown tonight.
And I think this year is going to be good. They have that new stadium finish now. They had that big Week 1 victory over Sandusky. I think this is their year to really make a statement. Game number 9, a very interesting East Side affair. Gilmore and Lake Catholic. Shout out Coach Marty Gibbons. I go with the Cougars.
Yeah, I got Lake Catholic in that one. I know a lot of people over there, and they told me I got to be picking them because they're going to be rocking and rolling tonight and very loud in the student section.
By 3 late votes, Lake Catholic wins the fan vote 62-59. On to the next one, Hoover and Green. This is up your alley, Bryce, as you don't really like either of these two teams, being a proud Glen Oak alum. The fan vote goes with Hoover. But once again, I cannot bet against Tyson Hunka. Give me Green.
I got to go Green as well. Hoover is one of the few teams that I never beat in my baseball career, so I got to pick Green as I whooped them twice.
That might be the greatest explanation ever for a pick. I think we allow that one.
100%.
Back up to Cleveland we go. Warrensville Heights and Cleveland Central Catholic. We will see CCC next week as our Friday Night Lights game of the week. However, I have Bernard Russ and company getting the win tonight.
I think you have to go with Little Tri-C here. I think they got this game by 7.
The interesting use of Tri-C there, the lesser-known Tri-C. And so does the fan vote, 60 votes to 49. They have the Ironmen taking down the Tigers. On to the next, Lou East and East Lake North, another East Side battle. Give me Lou East, new coach. East Lake North struggled last week, losing 33-0 to Madison. Madison we see tomorrow as our second game of the week. I think Lou East gets the win.
I think they do as well. I got to see their basketball team play against Glen Oak in the Play-by-Play Classic, so I got to go with them by 3.
And now, when did you see them? Because that is very important to this next part of the question.
When?
There's been many play-by-play classics. When did you
Last
see
year.
them? Okay, so you got to see Ziegler crumble.
The return of Darren Peterson, I went to that one courtside.
There you go. Going back to this, I have Louis, so does the fan votes. Moving on to game number 13. Ooh, a close one. NDCL, Benedictine. It's the Fox 8 game of the week. I am going with NDCL, I believe. Yes, I am. So is the fan vote.
I got NDCL. I think it's going to be a blowout.
Whoa. A blowout against Benedictine.
Oh, yeah.
I respect it. Game number 14, Carrollton and Howland. This time, I am going to go with Carrollton. The fan vote agrees. Who do you have?
I got Carrollton. We got to cover their soccer game against Alliance a couple nights ago, so I got to go with them by 9.
And then the final game that we are predicting, it is Maple Heights and Boardman. Initially, I was thinking, okay, Boardman has this one. But then again, this whole area thought it was a done deal that Dover was going to beat the Mustangs. I say roll Stangs, they get the win.
Yeah, I got to go Maple Heights. I think they've had a nice little hot streak. I think they're going to keep it going against Boardman.
And the fan votes in convincing fashion, 75-26, go with Maple Heights. Time now to go pull up Mr. Ragazzo's text messages as he has his predictions listed here. Going down the list, Medina over Shaker, Padua over Sandusky, Poland over Canfield, an interesting one there. St. Ed's over Glenville, Copley over Talmadge, Minerva over Sandy Valley, Brush over Bedford, another discrepancy, Amherst over Mid-Park, Lake Catholic over Gilmore, Green over Hoover, CCC over Warrensville Heights, Eastlake North over Lutheran East, NDCL over Benedictine, Carrollton over Howland, and Maple Heights over Boardman. And those are Mr. Ragazzo's predictions. We will rendezvous with him tomorrow at 6:15 for the SmeeSports Pregame Show, leading up to Holy Name and Madison, live at Brooklyn Memorial Stadium. Before we end our pregame show and toss things back down to the field, I think it's time for some keys to victory. I'll give my 3 for both teams. I'll toss it over to you, and then we'll talk a little bit about how each team can achieve these goals. For Alliance, no complacency. Get the Fab 5 skill position players involved and win the line of scrimmage. As for Ellet, get Knowles in open space early and often. He is their bell cow back. He is their star. If he has the rock, they have a shot. Number 2, keep things close at half. You look at that Talmadge game, 23-6. They scored first. Things were close at the half. A bounce or two goes their way, and we could be talking about a 2-1 program opposed to a 1-2 team. And then finally, it's simple. Use this home crowd. It is starting to fill in on the far side. You had the band. The band was out here even before we got here. Those are my keys to victory. What do you have?
So for Alliance, I say they have to limit the interior pressure. Last week, J.R. Jackson got flushed out a lot. I think if they hold that interior line and allow him to make plays inside the pocket, it will be a great game for him. I think they have to play without turnovers. The only game where they had 2 or more turnovers was, of course, their Week 2 loss. Also, they got to beat these linebackers. You know, Ellet's known for having a 4-4 defense. They have to beat these linebackers in the flats. For Ellet, we really have to make sure we contain J.R. Jackson. If he gets moving with his feet, he is a tough man to stop. These outside linebackers, like I just said, for Alliance, they have to be willing to make plays in the flats. They have to not allow yards after catch. And then also limiting the offensive penalties, as last week they were killed by Kent Roosevelt with so many offensive penalties that put them in really poor field position to start each drive.
And looking down on the field, we do have our sideline cam working. It appears Graham has found our good buddy Gene Simmons from OHSAA Media. Had to make sure I had the acronym right there. Absolutely love Gene. He is an awesome friend and colleague of ours. It's awesome to see him here. But you look at this game, I'm going to leave with this thought as we have things down on the field. Alliance, this is a trap game. They might be favored to win by 38, but if they don't play a good game, this Ellet team, it might not look like it initially. This is a team that could swoop in from down below, gut punch, uppercut, whatever you want to call it, and get a nasty, nasty win. If they do so, I don't think we see more than 30 combined points, but then again, Ellet has enough pieces to win this game, in my opinion. Knowles is a one-man wrecking machine. If he gets it done, then they have a shot. But Alliance, they're favored for a reason. If JR is on point at all, if he looks like Mikey Maloney did against Wheaton, my goodness.
Yeah, I think this is definitely one of those trap games. It's going to be a tough one for Ellet to pull out, but I think if they play a clean game and get some interior pressure, they've got a really good chance to pull this one out. A very close game, maybe 17-14 type of game, not super high scoring.
Maybe our quickest pregame show of the year. Not at all a bad thing given our technical difficulties. We got through things quick. Now 19 minutes left to go until kickoff. I think we just let the fans enjoy the field. We'll have one more commercial break, and then it is just time to sit back, relax, tune on in, and enjoy Friday Night Lights live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. As this has been the SmeeSports Pregame Show live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Stick with us. Bryce and I will have full commentary and full live video of the action in around 20 minutes. And once again, as always, this broadcast will eventually re-air on Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance as we are partnered with them for this matchup. Thank you to our boss, Chelsea Shar, along with Logan McGee, for helping us make this happen. Thank you to our students who are here today, and thank you to you, the viewers at home, who have given us just so many great opportunities through Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance To cover the best of Alliance and Marlington athletics, tonight it's the powder blue side of the city getting featured, and we love these Aviators, we love this team, and we love to see a great Friday Night Lights game. As Ellet goes to the locker room, we will step aside here on Smee Sports. Once again, kickoff in 18 minutes in Akron.
I put in the He's black shirt. Oh, cover. Can you fix the lights, please, at Oakville? That was terrible. Dude, yeah, come on. Yeah, our coach was... Right. Yeah, but now, the cover, that's the old gym from the old building. They just renovated it. Yeah.
Remove your hats. Officers. You may salute. And veterans, you may salute. The orange plays our national anthem.
Very introduced to that. You forgot to introduce the ROTC.
LA Junior ROTC presents our colors.
Yeah. You should for us be good. For Jim game, would be good.
Right. Let me have that.
You don't have yours prep? Okay, you want a blank one?
Here come the Ella Orangemen onto the field here in Akron. The Orangemen 1-2 on the year, looking to get back to 500 as they take on the Alliance Aviators. This is OHSAA football on the SmeeSports YouTube channel.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation. We will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one. It's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. He's the point, and it's alive. Hanson pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
Live from Ellet High School in Akron, this is OHSAA football on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Scoreboard's on the screen. Ellet is here. We are just waiting for those Alliance Aviators to join us here in Akron. He's Bryce Fisher. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. Bryce, we had a good pregame show, talked about a lot of key details for this game. What stands out to you from that time period? What is the one most important thing from pregame that these teams have to do to win tonight?
I think it's really going to come down to the linebackers for Ellet. They have to be able to contain J.R. Jackson as he has become an absolute threat in the passing game and running game. And then for Alliance, they have to get going early. They have to limit turnovers, and they have to be efficient on offense.
And now it looks like behind the far bleachers, finally we do see some Aviators. I believe they are going to either be in white or red. I believe white, that's what I'm being told. They're going to be in their white jerseys tonight. We saw them on the road in week 1. We saw J.R. Jackson take over that game, and you talked about J.R. being limited. How do you even do that? I know the linebackers are a part of it, but how?
And it's tough. You got to be able to recognize where he's going to go, what the protection is, and how he's going to be moving with the ball. He's a lefty too, so you have to be willing to know that he's going to be rolling out to his left more often than his right. It's definitely a different element having a left-handed quarterback who can definitely sling the rock.
Ellet is taking the field. We have 15 seconds until the clock expires, and Alliance is finally getting to the gates. Very interesting to see how long they are taking. You can see on your screen, Ellet is ready to go, and here come the Alliance Aviators, and there is their fight song. As expected, white jerseys, red lettering, and powder blue helmets tonight. They look like a team on a mission. A win here, it is simple. 3-1. Last year, 3-7. They matched that win tally in only 4 games.
Yeah, that would be great for them. And like we talked about in the pregame show, J.R. Jackson, through 3 games, has almost halved his total yards from last season. So, you know, through 6 games, he might be able to reach his total yards from last year through 10 games.
692 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 40 carries, 214 yards, and 3 scores. He has been great. We talked to Coach Goodman before the game. After the Padua win, he said this team has to take another step, and that step was competing in big games. There's a fine line. They cannot make Streetsboro their Super Bowl, but now playing Louisville, playing Streetsboro, they have played some top teams, and they feel they are ready for the back half of their schedule.
Yeah, and they have to be, and they have a good stretch coming up with a couple home games that are very winnable, and then they get to go face West Branch in the back half of the season, which is always a tough game, as everyone knows, in this Eastern Buckeye Conference.
Getting out to a hot start is always key in a game like this. Alliance, they will have the first opportunity of the game on offense, as it is Akron Ellet going from right to left, kicking things away, as the Aviators will get ready to go in a few moments. Time locally is 7 o'clock, 76 degrees here in Akron, and we are underway with a squib kick taken in at around the 20-yard line. And here come the Alliance Aviators. Good return by Cash Brisker. He is still up at the 40-yard line, and he will finally be spun down. And that'll make way for J.R. Jackson and the Alliance Aviator offense to take the field for the first time tonight. You have never seen J.R. play in the flesh, Bryce, but here is your chance. What is your expectation?
They're high. I have really high expectations. Obviously, looking at the film, he looks really good. Looking at the numbers, he looks really good. But the eye test is everything in high school football. So we're ready to see him get rocking and rolling.
The ball will be officially spotted at Alliance's own 42. And here comes Jackson and the rest of his motley crew on offense. As well, you can never forget about power back Ravon Hawkins. So far this year, 338 yards along with 3 touchdowns. He will get the opening carry, and he is taken down quickly. It's the big man for the first time tonight, Braden Knowles.
Yeah, and right there, like we said, they're going to have to win the interior, and they lost it on the first snap of the game.
And going back to what Coach Goodman said, they have to win the line of scrimmage. That time, Hawkins got a good scamper for a few yards. This time, it's going to be for 1. But I don't think Alliance won that line of scrimmage.
No, not at all. And they're going to have to do better than that if they want a chance to win this game.
And this could be the first time that we see J.R. Jackson use his arms tonight. Hawkins flared out left. It is a screen pass caught on the far side at the 40. Hawkins, a good gain on the far side. He is down at the marker. One of the chain gang members has been taken down, and we will see the official spot in a moment.
Yeah, and right there was a great example of number 0, Braden Knowles, not getting out in coverage fast enough. He sees that line or that running back fly out in that motion, he has to get out there. He's responsible for that.
And they do call it a first down for the Aviators. Nicely done by Hawkins. Gets set at the right time. Flares out perfectly. That is how efficient Alliance can be in the screen game. And they go right back. Hawkins down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be the story of this game. Who is going to win on the interior?
And Hawkins slow to get up after getting pummeled in the backfield. Loss of 5 on the play, bringing up second down and 15. A tempo setter potentially by Ellet.
100%. This is a good chance to see J.R. Jackson's arm here.
And once again, we have seen it once, but it's a screenplay. That only says so much. Jackson dropping back for the first time. His pass is caught at the initial line of scrimmage. It is a solid pickup on the play. Taken in at the far side. That is Jaron Blair for the first time. And now it is third down and manageable.
Yeah, and I really like Jaron Blair. I watched him a little bit in film. I think he's a really good route runner. I think he has really good hands.
Most receptions on the team, 20 catches, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, only behind Tajay Nicholson, another member of the Video Production Career Tech program, as he has a total of 253 yards in the air. Third down and 6, Jackson rolling out to his right. His pass, it is caught by a wide open Cam Burton, and he moves the chains, taken down past the 30, and they will give him to the Ellet 26.
And that one was really unexpected. You're not usually going to see a left-handed quarterback roll out to his right, and he did, and he made a great throw. He flipped his hips and made a great throw on the run there.
Catch number 11 on the year for Cam Burton, the transfer from McKinley 2 seasons ago. Year number 2 as an Aviator, and he is off to a great start, even better than last year. He has really taken a step in this offense. We will also see him playing during basketball and baseball season.
You got a jumbo package here with 2 tight ends.
So now first down and 10, knocking on the door of the red zone are the Aviators. Handoff Hawkins, and he will be met. Evades the initial hit, and he is able to get a couple on the play.
Really good job there by getting off of that first tackle and making this nice little scamper.
And Graham on the sideline almost got hit.
There is laundry on the field, though.
Potentially a hold just based on the way that he broke out of that tackle. I'm impressed that he got out of that initial hit. If that was going to be a constant, JR was going to be asked to throw maybe 30 times tonight, which that's not what he does.
No, it's definitely not. I think the most attempts he's had in one game so far this season was 28, and that's definitely stretching it. I think they have to be able to get this run game going here without these penalties.
Still a good spot to be. First down and 18, ball spotted at the 34 of Akron Ellet. 9:41 and counting left to go in the opening frame. Jackson throws out to his left. Pass is caught by Blair, and he is right around the initial line of scrimmage. And a good pile drive out of bounds by the Ellet Orangemen. Could be the first blow in a chippy game.
Yeah, it was a really good speed out there by Cam. I really like that route. I like it to get just a couple yards back. You don't need a big chunk play on 1st and 18. You just need to get back to the line of scrimmage to begin with.
Jackson now 4 for 4. 1 time to Burton, 1 time to Hawkins, and now 2 times to Jaron Blair. Kind of what you would expect from him. Still looking to see number 2, Tajay Nicholson, get involved a little bit more in this offense. And potentially a few other guys as well. Jackson dropping back his pass over the middle. It is tipped in the air and very nearly intercepted. Elijah Griffin, the 5'9", 160-pound DB in the vicinity.
Yeah, and Cash Brisker there had a chance to catch that tip, and he just did not get it.
Cash, a new starter for the Aviators, wearing number 7. He wasn't the initial starting wide receiver. It was Michael Williams. Williams drops out. Now it is Brisker, Burton, Blair, and Nicholson.
Sorry, 7 on the wrong team there. That was Jelani Austin.
And, oh, look at this. We have a mic'd up official in a high school game.
That's great. I'd love to see that in an OHSAA game. You know, we need more of it.
I've seen enough. I'm coming back to Ellet. I appreciate that. It's good to hear that kind of thing. It helps us understand up here what the call actually is. 3rd down and 5. 9:28 left to go in the opening frame. Handoff, Hawkins up the middle, has some room, and he is downed. Once again, the big man Knowles in there, and he will flex his muscles.
Yeah, really good interior pressure there, forcing them to make some blocks, and they just couldn't do it.
And now the question is, what do you do here on 4th down and short? 4th down and 3 to be exact. J.R. Jackson is your new place kicker. Jacob Schutte not doing football this year, a one-and-done kicker for the Aviators. I believe you said you saw J.R. hit from 40 pregame, but it looks like his offense will stay on the field. It's a big play. Jackson, he is down! It is Braden Knowles with the sack, and it's a turnover on downs for the Orangemen.
That was a great play by Knowles there, and that's exactly what we talked about pregame. That interior pressure, it's going to get there, and they have to be able to adapt. They weren't able to adapt there. Big play and big turnover early in this game.
My goodness, Braden Knowles.
Shot out of a cannon.
Brandon Knowles getting corrected there, but geez, out of a cannon, you see it here. Pummels Jackson. And now Ellet, a very interesting spot. They don't begin with the ball, but here they are with possession, no score.
Yeah, and that's huge. Obviously, getting the first score of the game is always big, and being able to limit a team that was driving for a good 2 minutes.
Quarterback coming out for the first time tonight. First down at 10 for the Orange Men. It is going to be kept by Parker. And it is Parker getting a few on the play.
Yeah, nice little option there. Very simple, very easy read. And nice little scamper for about 6 yards.
So now that'll bring up second down and 4. A little confusion on the jersey numbers up here. It always happens. Jerseys change throughout the season. It does happen. Once again, we do appreciate Ellet. Their staff has been great. It's been a hoop being up here in the press box for the past couple of hours. A lot of good things happening up here in Akron. Second down and 4. First time it is Knowles carrying the rock, and he is able to get the first down and move the chains.
Yeah, really powerful run there. Obviously got hit pretty early on. The O-line didn't really hold up for very long, but he just kept chugging, kept moving those legs.
And we talked about in pregame, getting Brandon Knowles in open space was going to be key for Akron Ellet tonight. That time up the gut, gets a good gain. Good enough to move the chains, and as long as you can stay ahead of them, you are in for a good night. And I feel like this start is very similar to that Talmadge game. They get the opening score, and then from there, a lot to work through. But right now, their goal is to simply get that opening score and not look anything past it. Parker in the flats. His pass is caught. That is Jelani Austin, and Austin will be spun out of play by J.R. Jackson, and a heavy hit down below to end the play.
Yeah, miscommunication on coverage there. There was no one out there for him. You had one man. You had one DB out there for the wideout, number 17, but then you had number 7 in the slot who had no one on him.
So now that'll bring up second down and 5 after, yet again, another play that keeps you ahead of the chains.
Yeah, and it's going to be staying on schedule here for the Ellet Orangemen.
And we talk about that a lot, especially during our Holy Name games. They have a young quarterback, Connor Jamison. Staying ahead of the chains is so important. Not talked about all too much, but when it is key to make sure everything goes right. Parker awaiting the snap, sends a man in motion. Handoff, it is Knowles trying to bounce outside now, cuts it up at the logo, and he is going to continue pushing the pile. The initial spot says first down, and they give it to him.
That's a really good team run. Hit very early on in the run, and everyone just kept pushing.
And we will watch that back via our video replay. I am impressed with Ellet's resilience pushing that pile. We'll have to watch that one again. And here it is. You'll see Knowles trying to bounce outside. And yeah, he is leading that pile and somehow gets that first down.
2 to 3 yards of push there after initial contact.
I think at least 6 yards after contact as he was hit behind the line. First down at 10. Parker keeps it himself. Bounces outside the hash. Is now back up. And he will be taken down at around the 45-yard line of Alliance. First time in enemy territory tonight for the Ellet Orangemen. But I am truly impressed with the way that they have played so far today. They shut down Alliance on that fourth down play. Now getting the ball back. Knowles, he is doing his thing. Parker, the same. This is an Ellet team that can really cause some issues tonight. This is what we expected from a team coached by a great head coach in Rob Sachs.
Yeah, and they've controlled the ball really well so far.
Taking down at 7, a slight miscue on the handoff, but Knowles is able to push forward for a minor gain. It looked like that was going to be for sure a loss of a couple, but in the end, able to get maybe one, and this could be a passing down for Terrence Parker and the offense.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough snap there, but Terrence Parker was able to hang on and get the ball to Knowles, and he made not a great run, but he pushed ahead for about a yard.
Better than nothing on that play, and this will bring up third down and 6. Over halfway through the opening frame. No score on SmeeSports as you are watching OHSAA football in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. You see Parker and Knowles in the backfield, a lot going through their mind early on in this one. Third down, pass in the flats. It is caught by Jelani Austin. Austin, he is close, and he is well ahead of the marker. First down, Ellet.
Really interesting call there by Alliance going into zone, but not having any linebacker move out into the flat. They had basically a linebacker trying to chase down number 7 there.
And Caden Sanders is a big linebacker to look at tonight for Alliance, moving back after starting the year as an offensive, or rather defensive lineman. He transferred in from Tennessee, a top 100 team down there. He was a starting quarterback, now the backup. He is primed to take over next year when JR graduates. But right now on defense, he has been great. He had the pick back in week 1 coming in for an injured Aviator, and he has really stepped in and settled in nicely. Parker dropping back. He will pump fake. Plenty of time. He gets hit. His pass, it is tipped up in the air, and it will fall.
Yeah, really risky pass there. Probably rather him just throw that away with the defender in his face and seeing 3 or 4 Aviators surrounding his wide out there.
And that is Trey Carter down for the Ellet Orangemen, and he will receive some medical attention. And as he does, we will step aside on SmeeSports. 4:47 left to go in the first quarter. No score here in Akron. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Welcome back to Akron Ellet High School. Second down and 10 after the injury timeout. Play will resume. It is Parker. He will take it himself, and he is dragged down from behind. Alex Hartman in on the hit.
I really like that play call there with the weak side tight end motioning across to make it the strong side and then going with a little counter option with the quarterback.
So now it is going to be third down and 9. Third down and long here. Not maybe an ideal spot here for Ellet, but not necessarily the worst possible spot. They just have to be careful here with how they work this. Maybe you get over to the flats, get 5, and then go from there.
Yeah, I don't think this is a time to really go for a big play to stretch the field. I think they have a chance here to pin the Aviators deep if they don't convert.
Parker on third down and 9, rolling out to his left, has to get rid of it, and nobody is home. Lands well in front of Cam Burton, the DB for the Aviators.
Yeah, and you got Coach right there coming up to him, shaking his head, saying, hey, man, let's just throw that away. Let's not throw that in the direction of that many defenders.
So now fourth down and 9. The Lions, they want a big stop here. But before we see this play, Coach Bob Sachs will call time, and he will talk things over with his Orangemen. Bryce, I'll toss it over to you. Your thoughts on this opening 8-minute sequence so far? Both sides have possessed the football, but nothing going quite yet.
Yeah, I think Ellet's done a really good job here of controlling the interior and forcing the run game. I think that for them to continue controlling this football, they need to bounce it outside a little bit more, be a little bit more in control at the tackles. But so far, I like the play calls. I think Bob Sachs is having a really good game plan and scheme to deal with this Alliance Aviators team that's been really hot the past few weeks.
And hot they have been. They lost that week 2 battle against Louisville. That's the rivalry game. They lost that one at Mount Union in their home opener. But since then, you get that win against Streetsboro. You get a win here, 3-1, entering a big home stretch, 3 games in a row at home. That's how you want to greet your fans.
100%. And when they come back, if they pull this one out and they come back into Alliance, they're going to have a lot of rowdy fans that are excited to see what they do.
And it's 3 winnable games as well. That is the key thing to note. Fourth down and 9. It's a big play. New quarterback in, and he will be taken down. It is Alex Hartman with the sack, and the Aviators will get the ball back.
That was a really interesting play design. I like it a lot, though. You know, you bring in the backup QB, and you let the starting QB go into motion kind of as like a wildcat back, and he has a really good route. He was open over the middle, just couldn't get the ball.
That was Demetrius Halsell coming in for that play and just ran out of time. You see Hartman, he was involved on a play moments ago, and there he is again with another big hit. And the Aviators, they have learned their lesson. This is going to be a quick drive if they have anything to say about it. They want that one big explosive play to score.
Yeah, I think we can expect a deep shot early on here.
I would pretty much expect it here. Jackson, he will drop back on 1st down and 10. Flushed out to his left, plenty of time, throws over the middle, picks up Nicholson, now in Orangeman territory. Nicholson putting on the moves, and he will be taken down, and they will spot him past the 40 at around the 38-yard line. A big play for Tajay Nicholson and J.R. Jackson.
Right on cue. Just like we said, we were expecting a big play after the big turnover, and they take the shot, and they get it.
And here it is once again on the replay. J.R. Jackson, great pocket awareness, flushes himself out to the left, finds Tajay, and Tajay does a little do-si-do around the defender and gets a few extra yards for his troubles. So now at the 37, it's a handoff as we come back to the action. Brandon Knowles once again.
Yeah,
no surprise.
He's feeling it right now. He's looking extremely fast. He's getting really good jumps off the line of scrimmage, and he's reading every single play.
And that's what you want from your star player. He has been a key contributor for all 4 years here at Ellet. New management, same Knowles.
Yeah, he's the exact same guy all 4 years. You know what he's bringing to the table, and he's definitely bringing it tonight early on.
So now 2nd down and 16, ball at the 43 of Ellet. Less than 3 to go in the opening frame. Jackson steps up. He will throw. Pass is caught by Blair, and Blair is diving for the 1st down marker, but they will spot him maybe a yard shy, setting up 3rd down and shorts.
He's really liking number 8 tonight. He's found him a lot on these little checkdowns. They're not exactly explosive routes, but they're getting the job done, keeping the chains moving.
And I would expect nothing less from Jaron Blair. He is your guy that you find so many times, maybe not for a lot of yards, but he could be your quote-unquote check down, but he also is a very big security blanket for the Aviator offense. When in doubt, find number 8. 3rd down and short. It is a handoff, and it appears to be a 1st down and then some, but the ball is loose. Ellet is saying they have it, and so does the official. It is a turnover forced by Ellet. How about that?
And that is huge after Alliance was getting a lot of momentum there. Let's take a look at this replay.
I believe they said Robinson came in and poked it away. Let's see this one again.
Oh, a little peanut punch there at the end.
My goodness, Akron Ellet is making some noise tonight.
You know, that started down there in Florida. They came up with the peanut punch, and everyone in college football and the NFL has been doing it since, trying to throw a punch at the ball late, and it has worked great for them today.
2:07 on the clock in the opening frame. The big thing for Ellet now, how does the offense get involved in a bigger way? They had a good drive, but just couldn't get it done last time. Quarterback rolls out, and it is picked off right away. It goes directly back to Alliance. There is a flag. That is Johnny Belts with the INT.
That was a great play, a great read, too. He had a beat on that all the way.
And now the all-important conversation here by the officiating crew. Could it come back, or is it Aviator ball? So I think it maybe was some taunting, if you will, on the Aviators. That's at least what it appears to be. Belts with the interception. That's his first pick of his senior year. He also does have a fumble recovery, so his 2nd turnover forced this year in only 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, he had a beat on that ball all the way. And it was actually kind of weird. You had number 8, the backup QB, in. I thought that play was a little broken off the beginning. The line didn't necessarily block their assignments that they were given. I expected him to throw it away, but straight to number 4.
And you see Graham with our sideline cam getting a good look at the Ellet Orangeman defense. What's going through their mind right now?
They've got to be a little bit annoyed. They got a big turnover, set their team up after Alliance was getting rolling, and now they've got to come back out and try to make another stop, especially when Alliance got the ball in pretty good field position if it were not for that penalty.
Resilience is everything in this game of football. 1st down and 10 for J.R. Jackson. His pass in the flats caught by Blair. Blair has some blockers, and he is able to down a bunch of defenders before getting a few extra yards. Blair bulldozes Ellet.
Yeah, he lowered the shoulder and laid the boom there. They're saying he was out of bounds a little bit further back than I expected, but he still got a good chunk of yards there after splitting those two defenders.
We absolutely love Mount Boom. Why not have Aviator Boom?
Hey, I'm all for it. I love Pat McAfee for giving us Mount Boom, and that was an awesome thing to see all last year.
Good old Weston Arthur of the Mount Union Purple Raiders getting that award. Handoff, Hawkins on second down. Brandon Knowles. Once again, a late push there. Has to be careful. Tempers, they're starting to boil over. You cannot do anything too extracurricular.
No, you got to definitely play it cool here. It's OHSAA football. We are really big on sportsmanship, and you will get flagged pretty quick if you do any kind of taunting or late unnecessary hits.
To be fair, you did call out one of the Federal League teams in the pregame show.
100%.
So there's levels to this, just to be clear.
There definitely is, but, you know, a little bit of bias here and there.
So now 3rd down and 5. Hawkins flared out to the left. He could be the read here. Jackson, no more time. He will throw, and the pass is caught. There is a flag down in the backfield. It is a first down for the Aviators. Now a fumble. Alliance falls on it once again, and now we will see what is going to be called. Could be coming back. My guess, a hold.
Initial signal looked like a block in the back.
That would do it as well. That is killer. JR did everything right on that play, just erased.
Yeah, and he made the defender miss. He got out of the pocket, made a really good play on the run, and defender got a little bit too handsy, tried to save himself, and pushed the guy down from the backside.
And now I think the conversation is, did something extracurricular beyond that happen? I think that is what they're trying to figure out here. I think Ellet wanted more. We'll see if we can get confirmation during the break. Jackson, he will throw. Pass, it is caught in the flats. Another good play by Ravon Hawkins. He is able to get past the initial line of scrimmage, well short of the first down marker. And yet again, it is decision time for Coach Goodman and the Aviators.
Yeah, I would say punt it away, pin them deep, especially after that last turnover you just caught. Take the chances with the defense. I think the defense is feeling themselves pretty well.
Hard count, run the clock. That's my guess.
I like that decision too. Take the delay of game.
Because based on where they are, it's tough. And you also have the end of the quarter in 20 seconds.
Yeah, there's no point to run a play. You would rather them jump offside, maybe get a free first down.
He is running it. Jackson, he will throw up the far sideline, and it is caught, but is he out of bounds? No, he is not. It is incomplete, and Ellet forces another turnover on downs.
That was almost a phenomenal catch out there by number 2, Nicholson. He managed to grab that with his big old right paw, just could not keep the feet in bounds.
Tajay is a true warrior on the football field and on the basketball courts. Tajay as well, one of our own at Channel 1022. Always good to see him out there getting some good reps. And as we say, we look at that game against Minerva in basketball on January 31st, the night that Tajay became a superstar for the Aviators. At that point, he was just lights out, not only on the athletic fields, but also for us here with our broadcast. So shout out to Tajay and all of our athletes who are also a part of the Video Production Career Tech program. And as well, thanks to our 2 students here tonight as well. I would be remiss if I did not thank them. Final snap of the opening quarter, bobbled on the initial snap, and still, somehow in some way, Ellet finds a way to get a big pickup of 9 yards. That time it is Jaden Cooper, the junior, and that will do it for the opening 12 minutes in Akron. How about this from Ellet? A resilient bunch of Orangemen have it tied up at 0 as we flip to the second quarter. You are watching OHSAA football on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Welcome back to Akron Ellet High School for the start of the second quarter. No score on SmeeSports, and it is the Orangemen driving to get things underway. The clock will run. We are back to the action, and it is an immediate first down for Ellet. Jaden Cooper once again gets the carry.
Yeah, and Brandon Knowles is coming back out on the field. Probably expect him to get a carry here, especially on first down, or Ellet could take a really good deep shot.
I don't think it's a lazy comparison at all to call him the Micah Parsons of this defense.
100%. He's active everywhere, and unlike what Jerry Jones thinks, I think he's phenomenal.
And I think the way that he is built, the way that he plays the linebacker position, he plays like Micah. I mean, you look at that on your screen right now. I mean, the way he comes out on offense even, that looks like Micah Parsons playing offense. It is truly incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he's the same weight as Micah, about 240. If you add 2 inches, he's going to be about the same height. And he is just an athletic freak.
And there it is on display, bulldozing a couple of aviators before being spun down. Gain of, I believe, 4 on the play. And yet again, Ellet stays ahead of the chains.
Yeah, they're being efficient here. If you eliminate that one turnover, you know, this is going to be a lot closer of a game. I think they're staying way more efficient than we were probably expecting in the pregame show.
And I think most people are not really going to tune in and expect to see 0-0 in the second quarter. Not at all.
No, we definitely expected one score by now, but both teams' defense playing really well.
And that was a key to victory, keeping things close. Knowles up the middle, dragging a bunch of aviators with him. My goodness, he is still up, and he is finally down. Give him to about the 26.
And 73 is absolutely fired up for Ellet. Lucas Adkins with the big push at the end. He is fired up and feeling it on that offensive line.
Micah, Derrick Henry.
I could see it. He's got the build to do so. He's got a little bit of Ezekiel Elliott going on, though, with his jersey being tucked up, showing the back flap.
And I have one more for you as well. The refrigerator on offense.
Yeah, we love Refrigerator Perry back here in Ohio, even though he was with the Bears, but he was an absolute tank, and we love to watch him run.
We do have a score update from East Canton. 16-0, the Hornets on top of Thomas Aquinas through 1. Carry this time for the quarterback, Parker, and he is able to get a couple. That score update comes courtesy of our friend Christian Elshire over at Q92 Sports. I will say this, Christian was one of the best bosses I've ever had. It was awesome working for him last year, and glad that we could still bounce score updates off each other and help each other out. Always good to see him around Alliance High School.
Yeah, it's what you like to see in these types of industries, having good relationships, being able to communicate and get information from everyone.
And you can even say that Christian's the reason I'm here. Christian knew Lynn at Mount. Lynn knew Logan. Logan found me at Alliance Padua, and here we are a year and some change later.
Yeah, an absolutely beautiful broadcast we've got running now, and I'm sure his broadcast is going to be even more beautiful tonight.
For sure, a lot of great broadcasts in the Stark County area. Parker keeps, and he will stumble forward for a pickup of maybe one, maybe just back to the line of scrimmage, and it's third down and medium for Ellet.
Is this the first red zone trip we've seen tonight, I believe?
I think they might just be inside. No, just
outside.
So at the 21. But otherwise, you're onto it. I think so. Which is crazy to think.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that 15 minutes into this game we wouldn't have seen either team really get into the end or the red zone yet, but it's been a tight defensive battle.
And you had it right as well. End zone. Same thing. Third down and 5. Parker bounces outside, dives forward. Now he is in the red zone, and he is maybe a yard or two short. Decision time for Coach Sachs.
Yeah, they're saying 4th and 3 here.
Oh.
Do not see a kicker coming onto the field.
That is not the spot that I would have thought. I thought maybe 1. And I think the press box would agree. I saw him down around the 18-yard line as well. It's an interesting one. It's close, but they give him the 19, 4th down and 2. Honestly, you don't like to run the ball on 4th down, but when you have Brandon Knowles, you might. He will run it. He tries to get to the outside, somehow still up. He will try to drive forward, but he is denied. How about that? Alliance forces a turnover on downs.
Wow. It was a great play by Alliance's defense, and I think Ellet's offensive line has to go back and look at themselves because that offensive line broke down extremely fast on the interior.
And to quote Cooper from last night, the pendulum continues to swing.
Always. It will always be swinging. It's going to be very hard to get some momentum in this game so far, as we've seen.
And once again, a beautiful night for football. You can see the sunset in the background, courtesy of Graham's camera on the ground. This has been a great night for football. Beautiful day here. And somehow, in some way, we have not seen a score from either team. Alliance looking to change that. Jackson over the middle. It is tipped. And there is a hit late from Griffin. No flag down. And I think that's the right call.
I definitely agree, but I think Griffin probably should have played the ball there with it getting tipped up. I think he had a second. If he makes a cut, maybe he'd make a play on the ball.
And we will watch this one back on the replay just to see exactly what happened. It was tipped clearly. The question is, how close was he to making a play after it? He was close. And there you go. We got some extra explanation. If it's tipped, the hit can be applied, and I think that was a legal hit.
I definitely agree.
Back to the action. Oh my goodness! Jeez! What a hit on the far side!
Let's go. Hey, one more play. Let's make another play.
Bryce, I got nothing.
Laid the boom.
And an injury timeout. Wow. I think we just leave it at wow and we cut to commercial. We'll be back on in a moment here in Akron. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Thank goodness Jaron Blair is okay on the far side, as just before break, Ellet brought the boom. What a hit. Back to the action. 3rd down and 10 for the Aviators. Whistle blows, and there is a laundry.
They're pointing towards Ellet.
And I think that'll move them up 5 yards. They said still 2nd down. It's 3rd down pretty clearly, so 3rd down and 5. Just jumped too early there. And now a big one, 3rd down and 5. Ravon get involved here, or do you throw?
I think I'd probably put a little motion in with the tight end, run it right up the gut with J.R. Jackson, trust his feet and legs to make a play here.
Jackson rolling out to his right. He will cut up his pass. It is caught. Cam Burton hangs on for the Aviator 1st down. Nicely done by Cam. He got hit immediately, didn't drop the ball, didn't shy away. He absorbed the hit, and that is how you play the wide receiver position.
Yeah, and that was beautifully run. You know, I think J.R. Jackson's probably going to tell us that he's going to do it with his arms tonight. We haven't seen him run the ball a lot so far. He's been throwing it. He's putting the money right on the letters.
And no surprise at all, J.R. Jackson has taken a big step from this season, the start, to this season now. Handoff, it's Hawkins up the middle. He is loose. Ravon Hawkins, it's a foot race to the end zone. The 20, 10, 5, see you later. Touchdown Aviators.
Big play ability by number 3 Hawkins there. He was shot out of a cannon after that second contact, about 5-10 yards up the field, and he took off to finish off that run.
Back-to-back replays, you see it bleed over. But Ravon Hawkins shot out of a cannon, and it's a foot race. He is not losing that one.
No, he can fly, and everyone on the field knows he can fly, and that's one of Ellet's big keys. They want to limit big plays tonight.
And we will see now what the job of the Aviators is right now, and it looks to be an extra point, not from J.R. Jackson. Number 89, it's a loose ball. He is going to take it out to his right, cuts up the middle, and he will fumble it. 2-point conversion, technically no good. But either way, Ravon Hawkins, he just unleashes, disconnects the trailer, and it is a foot race. A foot race Ravon does not lose. 7:28 left to go in the second quarter. Alliance up 6-0 on Akron Ellet. You are watching OHSAA football on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Welcome back to Ellet High School in Akron. 7:28 left to go in the first half. Alliance up 6-0 on the Orangemen, courtesy of a big rushing score from Ravon Hawkins. For those just tuning in, he's Bryce Fisher, and I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. What a run by Ravon, and what an opening score by the Alliance Aviators.
Yeah, it was a big-time run there. He broke it off, and now we're back to seeing J.R. Jackson, who we're generally used to seeing kick the extra points kicking off.
And here come the Ellet Orangemen. Plenty of blockers, and it is a great return. He will be down just past the 40-yard line. That appears to be Jelani Austin. And Austin is pleased. So 60 yards in front of Parker and the offense. How do you approach this?
I think they have to get the running game going. I think they have to be strong in the interior and let number 0 take over this game.
And that is the easy answer. Brandon Knowles has been a monster. This could be a rare case that we give player of the game to a player if Ellet loses on the losing team. He has been that much of an impact player tonight. Plenty of action left to go. We will see how they do. And I believe Ellet does get the kick to begin the second half. That is something to keep in mind depending on how they play their cards here.
You got number 8 in and number 6, the traditional QB, running out.
Parker takes it out in the flats, and he is able to just get past the initial line of scrimmage.
Really interesting use of the 2 QB system here.
I don't hate it at all. I think it's a good idea. You're flexible, you're versatile, and you can create some real big chaos. You don't know who's getting the ball. You could see a backward pass, and it's a flea flicker.
Yeah, 100%. And I think with Coach Sachs coming over from Lake and having do-it-all DeGeorge over there, he's used to having a QB with a lot of flexibility.
And I believe Ty is out tonight, though, for Lake, as he got knocked out of last week's game. So
yeah, that's a tough loss for them, as he's been a key piece in the first 2 weeks of the season. He had 10 total touchdowns.
And they got Perry tonight, 3-0 versus 3-0. And Lake as well, number 1 in Division III, I believe. That ranking did just come out recently. They were atop the AP poll.
Yeah, and they're looking really good. They're definitely one of the teams to beat in Northeast Ohio.
Flag will fly. And it's going to be encroachments, and that'll give Ellet an even better spot. And I think now is a good time to go over to what Coach Goodman said, as he gave some good thoughts. Balance is his emphasis. Why do we do well against Streetsboro? How do we do it here? He said it was a great week of prep, but the thing is, as he said in pregame, Streetsboro cannot be their Super Bowl, and they also cannot play down to the Orangemen, which it appears, at least right now, that could be the way this game is going. Handoff, it is Parker, and Parker has the first down and then some. Forward progress finally stops, and the Aviators finally push him down. And I do give both teams a lot of credit. A lot of plays that could be perceived as malicious, but both teams are keeping their cool, at least for now.
Yeah, they're definitely taking some sneaky shots at each other. Obviously, this is going to be a competitive game. And you're definitely going to see those not super late blows, but the pushing the line type of hits during this game.
So now first down and 10, ball spotted at the 48 of Alliance. So Ellet back in enemy territory. And the goal is to continue moving the chains. Knowles is going to be the tight end off the right tackle. He is upfield to block. Parker bounces it out to the left, and he is picked up, and he is thrown down. A heavy hit by the Alliance Aviators. Fast appears to be the catalyst. How about that from the big man, Brody Fast?
Yeah, and he got back there quickly, and as soon as he got a hold of number 6 Parker, he drove his feet, drove him up, and then drove him straight to the ground.
And here's the replay. He helps with it, and 3 Aviators take him to the ground. They do have to be careful, though. They picked him up and did throw him down, which a different crew, I think, sees that as unnecessary roughness. You have to be very careful about that.
Yeah, it's definitely finicky.
So now 2nd down and 9. Not much time, and he is down. Once again, the Aviators are in the backfield. This time it's Johnny Belts. He had the INT earlier. Now a big sack for A-Town.
Yeah, and he's looking really good out of that kind of nickel position where he's playing a hybrid linebacker role or a Viper linebacker, some may call. And he has got a beat on every single play that Ellet is running right now.
So 3rd down and 18, but first time has been called as Ellet wants to talk things over. Alliance with 5:12 on the clock in the first half find themselves up 6-0 on the Orangemen. We will step aside and hear a quick word from our sponsors on Smee Sports. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Welcome back to Akron Ellet High School. Dealing with some darkness here as it is very dark outside. On 3rd down and long, it's a big run up the middle, and it is a first down for Ellet. How about that? Coach Sachs calls time, and it pays off in a massive way.
Big play, and it wasn't anything complicated. It was straight QB draw. He took the snap, hole opened up, straight up the middle, and he took off.
And if you are Ellet, you needed that play. You needed something like that. And I think that's the spark the offense needs to rely on now as we come to potentially the close in a few moments of this first half.
Yeah, and if you're Alliance, that one really hurts because you had 2 back-to-back really good stops with the play by Fast and play by Belts, and then you give up that big play there.
So now 1st down and 10. And it'll be a pitch off to the right side. Parker, he is spun down to the backfield. Once again, it is Brody Fast in on the play.
And downfield, number 0 with a really aggressive block on number 32. Brandon Knowles is doing everything tonight, but that pitch honestly was way too early. I think if you're number 8, you have to pull in the defense a little bit more to give number 6 Jackson a chance to stretch that out.
And when's the last time that we saw Knowles run the football? You can't give him the ball every single play, but I feel like now this is where you have to get him back into this offense.
I 100% agree. I think we've seen him run it once in the second quarter after he had quite a few carries in the first quarter that worked out really well for Ellet.
So now 2nd down at 16, less than 4 minutes to go in the first half. Reminder, stay tuned for halftime as we will have full coverage of both of the marching band's halftime shows. It is Knowles, evades one hit, cuts it up the far side, drives the pile, and he is very close to the line to gain, maybe a yard short. Or rather, the initial line of scrimmage. A little bit of confusion there as you see the one pull that you're trying to go to. But still, 3rd down and long. I give him credit for getting that close.
Yeah, and I like that play. I like offensive line pulling across, and then number 8 throwing it back across to tight end Knowles. We've seen Brandon Knowles play a lot of positions. He's been at tight end, he's been at running back, he's been at fullback.
So now 3rd down and 12. Now approaching the 3-minute mark of this opening half. One more time, we mentioned it moments ago, but it could have been cut off during the play. We will have both Alliance and Ellet's halftime show live here with the band audio. Hopefully we can do that. At least we'll have video of it. But now a timeout has been called, and both teams will have this opportunity to talk things over. Looking ahead to tomorrow, it is the halfway point of our OHSAA high school football season. We will be at Brooklyn Memorial Stadium. Holy Name playing there for the first time since November of 2021. Julian behind me knows exactly what happened last time. Andrew Cole, back corner of the end zone, breaks Padua Hearts, and they get the win, and they advance to the regional final. Now, back to their home field, they take on Madison, a very talented Blue Streak squad who is favored to win by, I believe, 2 scores.
Yeah, and I think they'll definitely be a team that's going to come out throwing some haymakers. I think they have a really good chance to put up probably 30 points in that one and make it a big time win.
Their quarterback last week, over 200 yards. And on top of that, he had, I believe, an 11 for 16 night. So not too shabby by any stretch of the imagination.
Knowles back at running back here.
He needs a big play here on 3rd down and 12. Ellet needs a bunch. Quarterback rolling out to his right. Knowles as a blocker. Pass upfield tipped and not going to be caught. Incomplete, a heavy hit by the Aviators. 4th down and 12. And we will see what Ellet decides to do. And I kind of think you have to punt this one away or do something creative, as you really don't have a good option here.
Yeah, and I believe that was number 4 who got the tip, and he's playing a really good hybrid Viper role. Johnny Belts is the name, and he's having a really good night tonight on defense.
There we go. Once again, trying to brighten up our cameras. Very dark outside, but still, I think we have to look at it once again. Beautiful sunset here in Akron.
Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful night. Nice and warm. A really good night for some Friday night lights.
4th down and long. They will go for it. The pass, it is caught by Knowles. He stays up, but not long enough. And it is a turnover on downs. And there's a flag. That's a taunt, and that was clear. I was about to point it out. That is Brown Edwards stepping over him. And hold on a minute. That could change things.
Yeah, that can definitely change things. It's going to depend on if it's after the play or they deemed it during the play.
It'll be after the play, but that was not a smart decision by Edwards. Just stepped right over him in front of the judge.
Yeah, there's been some really bad unsportsmanlike conduct calls so far this OHSAA football season where players are just getting a little bit out of the hand with these celebrations.
And hold on now. I think Coach Goodman didn't like something that was explained to him. The ball is moving way up, and yeah, I believe that will bring out the offense, but that's a big penalty. You had a decent spot, but now 2:41 on the clock. You have to score here because if Ellis scores on their first drive of the second half, you're out of luck and you're down or tied at best.
Yeah, they need to get something here in this last 2 minutes and 41 seconds of this half. I expect probably a couple deep shots taken to number 2.
We'll see what ends up happening if Tajay does get the ball or not. JR, it is a long field in front of him. What says he and the Alliance Aviator offense? Well, first of all, they're still waiting for one more compatriot, and here he is. 1st down and 10, Jackson. He will throw over the middle. Pass is caught by Jaron Blair. He gets the boom, but not before picking up the 1st down.
And he is having a really good night. Overthrows the referee when trying to give him the ball there, but as a route runner and a wideout, he is having a phenomenal night for these Alliance Aviators.
And once again, speaking of phenomenal, our student crew and our whole crew tonight doing this broadcast. Thank you once again to our 2 students, along with J-Rod and, well, you as well, Bryce. Nicholson up the near side, breaks through. He is loose. Nicholson at the 20, plays the stiff arm, and he is through. Touchdown, Aviators.
Not the way I expected to get Nicholson involved, but definitely a great play. Slip through on the edge, stay in bounds, and take it for a big-time touchdown right before the end of this half.
I was in the middle of giving our crew some kudos. All of a sudden, you see Nicholson somehow stays in play, and he is off to the races.
As a Bengals fan, that really looked like the Cincinnati Bengals defense all of last year.
I was about to say not the offense on Sunday nights, but now a chance for the extra point. The Aviators up by 12. They got their score, and they are starting to get in rhythm. The extra point that time, good. Just able to sneak it in. And the away fans are starting to get into this one. It's Minions night. Gru and his friends are loving it on the far side in the student section. And all the way around, the way that we look at this game, Bryce, Alliance, they have been good, but I think Ellet still did one of their tasks, keeping this game close at half.
Yeah, I think they've come into this game trying to just keep the game close, keep it winnable, and I think they're doing it so far. Honestly, they haven't really allowed J.R. Jackson to make a lot of plays outside the pocket, and that's been super surprising to me. It's been a lot of yards after catch and big breakaway plays through the secondary.
And once again, J.R. Jackson showing his dynamic ability, but let's give flowers one more time to Tajay. On the near sideline, 3 orange men, slips through all of them, and somehow doesn't step out of bounds.
Yeah, and it's just a phenomenal play, phenomenal coordination, understanding where your feet are and being able to stay in bounds.
So now 2:17 on the clock before halftime. 13-0 Alliance on top of Orangemen. And now we have 11. For a moment there, down to 10. But I think it's clear, Ellet, they need a big drive.
Yeah, and this 11th man doesn't necessarily seem to know what is going on right now.
It's an awkward spot for Ellet to be in. Same with Alliance, but plenty of time to work through the system. A heavy squib kick, it's out of play.
It's a penalty.
And it's great field position for Ellet.
This would be a really good opportunity for Ellet to go down and try to get a score right before the half.
2-minute drill to an extent. Brandon Knowles, how involved is he here?
I think he has to be. I think you have to give your playmaker the ball. And if you're not going to be giving him the ball, then you have to be willing to put number 6, Terrence Parker, back there and let him take a deep shot. We know when watching the film that he's very good at throwing the deep ball over the middle. I think you have to test him.
And looking at some score updates, St. Ed's up 7-0 on Glenville. As for Benedictine and NDCL, 14-7 Benny on top of NDCL. So that one has flipped sides. Initially, it was different. So now we look for more updates. Nothing really crazy right now. We should have more updates during halftime. And once again, we will have full live coverage of both bands, starting with Alliance and rounding things out with the Pride of Ellet. Looking forward to seeing both shows. We heard Ellet before the game, and let me tell you, their band is very talented. Pass in the flats, caught by Austin. Austin has some blockers, gets towards the first down marker, and in fact gets 2 extra yards. Give him 12, now 11. Either way, first down Ellet.
First down, stop the clock, give them a chance to move the chains. I think they have a really good opportunity to go score. I like number 7 a lot, Jelani Austin. When watching the game film, I thought he has really good breakaway speed. I think this is a chance to get him involved.
And on that play, 8 seconds off the clock, 11 yards for Ellet. That is staying ahead of the clock, not necessarily the chains.
Yeah, that's just being efficient. Plus, you got the 2-minute timeout that will be coming into effect in a couple seconds.
Knowles breaks a couple of tackles, but cannot get out of that. It is Sanders pushing him down in the end. And on top of that, that play was created by Jaden Lott, the big man, 6'2", 325 in the middle, brings him down. And that'll bring us to our 2-minute timeout. $1:59 left to go in the first half. Your thoughts on the opening almost 24 minutes now?
It's been definitely not what I expected. I expect Alliance to make some big-time plays, and they've made big-time plays, except it's only been 2 plays. You have the big run by number 3 Hawkins, and then the big-time touchdown you saw less than a minute ago by Tajay Nicholson. I think Ellet's got to limit those big plays in the second half, and they have to make some big plays of their own.
And I agree. It all starts with the big play. That's how Alliance has scored tonight. Both touchdowns, 50-plus yards, I believe.
Yeah, and that's where, like you heard all of yesterday, the pendulum happens. The pendulum happens on big plays. That's when you get the biggest swing.
So now 2nd down and 12 for Ellet after a loss of 2 on the last play. Less than 2 minutes to go. The offense has to be on point here. It is Parker flushed out to his left. He is able to get up the middle. He has space. He is loose. Has the first down and more. And finally will be dragged down. Now he is at the 30. He sees Knowles. He says, I could do it too.
Yeah, and that was a big-time play that they needed, like we just said. You need someone to break away, make a miss happen, break a tackle, something to happen.
And we'll watch it back on the replay. Goes left, cuts up, very Lamar Jackson-esque. You see him moving around the backfield, moving around the pocket, finds the space, takes advantage, and drags a couple of white jerseys.
Yeah, and no hesitation. As soon as that pocket began to collapse, he knew, I got to get going.
This time it's a handoff. Knowles pushing through. He is past the 25, knocking on the door of the red zone. But the clock is going to continue to run.
Yeah, no timeouts here for Ellet as they use them all.
But I don't hate the way that they were used. That's the thing.
No, they were used properly, but it puts you into a little bit of a bind for this last minute or so.
65 seconds left to play in the opening half. Knowles once again inside the red zone, cuts upfield, lowers the shoulder, and is down at around the 15-yard line. And the clock will stop as they spot the ball.
Yeah, first down there. Let the chain gang get moving. Give them a little bit of breather as the clock begins to roll again.
So 50 seconds left to play. Ellet needs to get in the huddle, and they need to work quick. Time is just melting off the clock. They got to find something here. First down and 10, ball spotted at the 17-yard line. And a whistle will blow, and I think it is Coach Goodman using his second timeout for the Aviators.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he called the timeout there. You have Ellet rushing onto the field, being a little bit accelerated in their pace because they're getting onto the field so late, getting the play call into the huddle. I would rather Ellet have a broken play on field than take a timeout and let them get set.
But if it's a broken play and the personnel's not there, just to play devil's advocate, that's a touchdown.
100%. I think I'm willing to take that chance up 13-0 with 37 seconds left.
At the same time, though, I'm just going against you right now, it seems. They score here, 13-6 or 13-7. They get the ball to begin the second half. Do it again. Tied or lead?
I think they would have the lead. I can't imagine Ellet misses a PAT here. I like their kicker in pregame. Not throwing a jinx onto him, but I was watching him pregame, and he looked pretty good.
You can't say after the fact that the jinx is not being applied. That's the one cardinal sin of broadcasting. Believe me, I've done it. In games that I'm not even calling, just mentioning. It's happened.
Oh, we've all done it as a fan.
Parker dropping back, looking for an option, takes the shot, passes incomplete. Good coverage by the Aviators. Maybe a hair early, but the officials say no.
I like that call. I've always said that let the boys play. I think he timed it just a hair early, but I don't think it affected as the ball was a little bit behind the wideout.
And the good thing is, even if he did catch it, the clock runs, but you're at the 1-yard line. That's the one ball over the middle that I can condone. If you're Alliance, though, you have to play the boundaries.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want them to be able to get out of bounds while moving forward and stop the clock.
32 seconds on the clock in this first half. Parker, he will run it up the middle, has some room, slips through a tackle, spins through another, and he is close. There's the flag, and that does stop the clock, and I think it's on Alliance.
Yeah, and that would be a huge turn. Alliance is really hoping this is not on them. From the direction and the official that it came from, I would assume it's on Alliance.
Stops the clock, half the distance most likely. I think you put Knowles under center and you push. What a twist at the end of this first half.
Never mind, they picked up the laundry on the field. They say no flag, let the boys play.
And can the boys get in for Ellet? Maybe two shots from the one. 15 seconds. Here it is. Whistles blow.
That is on Ellet. False start as the tight end began moving back.
And that's another killer on them. And the big thing is, it appears there is not, but that could have been a 10-second runoff if it was something else.
Yeah, we do not have that in high school football yet.
Clock running.
And another false start by the tight end.
So now, what does this mean for Ellet?
Clock is going to run as soon as the ball gets set.
Whistles blow, and I think Alliance is going to use their final timeouts. What is going on?
This has been a big swing in the last 20 seconds.
We are in the twilight zone officially as we hit the 8 o'clock hour.
Weird things begin to happen.
I don't understand the timeout either.
I'm not really sure because I think as soon as that ball gets spotted, the clock's going to run, and you got Ellet trying to run a rush play. It's not like you have to change personnel. They don't have the time to change their personnel.
And now you can see Graham has made his way to the end zone, maybe our best way to watch this play. But at the end of this first half, we will have some extra action for you. It is the halftime shows for the Alliance and the Ellet marching bands, so make sure you stick with us for that. Both bands do a great job. We heard Ellet before the game. I'm excited for some good music tonight.
Yeah, I hope it's a really good halftime show. I know Ellet in the pregame looked really good with their singing the national anthem. Plus, while they were doing their pregame before we even went live, they had some good song choices that were going on a little bit in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s.
They were out here working before we were. Final play of the first half. Parker to the end zone. Pass is batted away with 1 second to go. So we will have one more play.
Yeah, really good play by there. I think that's number 6, Cam Byrne in the end zone. It's a little hard to see. Really good play to get the inside leverage and swat that down. I thought they were going to take a shot for number 6, Parker, as he was running a little wheel route and got covered by a linebacker really late.
Honestly, right now your best option, I think, is simple. Lob ball to Knowles.
I 100% agree.
Well, here it is. 1 second left to go. Barring any craziness, this is it for the first half. Pass to the end zone. It is a lob ball.
Just as you said.
It's caught. He is shy at the 1, and that will do it for the opening 24 minutes. Now a late flag. Hold on. We might not be done. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring him back. We will see what the flag is going to be, but my goodness. Does Alliance have to stay? I don't think they do, but it also could be a play outside of time. Big decision right now, Bryce. What are you thinking?
I'm really curious on based on who threw the flag, what they saw or heard. I didn't necessarily see anything. Yeah, they're just saying, go ahead, get into the locker room. There's no flag on the play. Or they may enforce it. Okay, so as I was about to say, they're going to enforce it at the beginning of the second half. It was on Alliance. It was taunting after that big-time play to keep them out of the end zone very late, which you almost called.
That was just the right decision there. You look at the way Ella has worked. Knowles is a jump ball monster. They did everything they could, but in the end, not enough. 24 minutes down here in Akron. It is the Alliance Aviators up 13-0 on the Akron Ellet Orangemen. We will step aside and let the bands do the talking for the next 20 minutes, starting with the Pride of Alliance. You are watching OHSAA football on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field, under the direction of Charles Page and Nathan Fate, the Bryce the Sky, your 2025 Alliance High School Marching Band. Tonight's show is titled Venom, a high-energy set featuring music that brings attitude, edge, and power to the field. We begin with a slick and funky favorite from 1999. It's smooth, it's dangerous, and it's got a groove you won't forget. Here's Poison by Velvet DeVoe. Next up, we unleash a blast of raw intensity with one of the most iconic metal tracks ever written. Known for its relentless drive and explosive energy, this piece captures the darker edge of our Venom theme. Brace yourself, here is Master of Puppets by Metallica. And clap along as we bring the fun with Hand Clap by Vincent Tantrums.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the field, your Ellet High School Marching Orangemen. The Orangemen are directed by Adam Brom, Jordan Page, Crash Instructor Andrew Rugusky, and Percussion Instructor Frank Margita. Yellow Marching Orangemen are our party, you're all invited. Party Rock Anthem by Lauren Bennett. Green Rock reached the top charts in 20 countries in 2011 and is the best-selling single of all time in Australia. Everybody just have a good time and enjoy Party Rock Anthem. Hit Teenage Dream by Katy Perry's sex song party soundtrack. Will you find that special someone? It doesn't really matter as long as you're having fun with your friends. Enjoy Teenage Dream. Hit Counting Stars by One Republic was inspired by working with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Dream big, work hard, and if you count your stars, you can achieve anything. hit shutout advance by Walker the Moon says it all. Sometimes subtlety doesn't work. Just shutout advance with me.
With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Welcome back to Ellet High School in Akron for the second half of this OHSAA football game. Through 24 minutes, we'll pop it up on your screen. Alliance up 13-0 on the Orangemen as you are watching OHSAA football on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Once again, he's Bryce Fisher. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. And Bryce, Ellet has hung in this game very nicely so far.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by how well they've actually stayed in this game. I thought they were going to have a lot more trouble containing the Big Five playmakers that Alliance has, and they've handled them with almost ease.
You could definitely say it like that. The thing with Alliance right now, they are relying heavily on the big play. Not a bad thing, but is it sustainable, especially in some tight EBC matchups?
I think against Ellet it will be sustainable tonight, but when we get to the games like West Branch and the maybe scary Minerva, it's not going to last for you.
I agree. It's tough to really gauge how this team will do in the EBC. Once again, last year, 3-7, they won their final 2 games. But this is a new team. I think last year, a lot of the pressure was replacing Zerbrugg. Zerbrugg has been gone for over a season now. Now it's simple. We play the game the way we want to play, not the way that Zerbrugg played.
Yeah, 100%. And now J.R. Jackson has taken over as the big-time playmaker who's going to allow all of the guys who need to make plays and get their touches he's going to feed them the ball. And it's working out great for him.
My goodness, Minerva. It's 27-12 at half over Sandy Valley. Favored to win by 1. Is Wing T back?
I would hate to say yes since I picked Sandy Valley in the pregame show to win by 1.
That was the first mistake.
But it would appear that they are back.
However, though, you play your first EBC game against the big bad wolf of the conference in West Branch. We will be there for that game. Actually, if I look at our schedule, after next week, 3 of our next 4 games are Minerva.
Oh, okay.
To go through the schedule, Minerva West Branch, Minerva Salem. Then Saturday, we rendezvous with Holy Name at Brooklyn against CVCA. Then the next one, it's at Marlington, but it's Minerva.
Yeah, and we're going to get a lot of good looks at Minerva and see if they are legit this year.
Those are 3 games that they have to at least compete in. West Branch, you really can't ask them to win that game. You can't ask Minerva to be the team to beat West Branch in conference for the first time since 2019. That's a little too tall of a task for them right now. But Salem and Marlington, winnable.
100%. They're definitely winnable games. And when you look at West Branch, I think everyone's goal right now is just to compete with them, keep them from blowing you out. They're a tough team to beat, especially within the past decade. They've been dominant in the EBC.
And as well, just to say it, Minerva scored 0 in their first game, 23 in their second. Last week, 34. Right now, 27. And this is the chance that they have been waiting for. First road win, and I think maybe 27 road contests.
Yeah, man, that is a long stretch, but they're on pace to do so right now, and that is a good look for them.
One more comment on them before we get back to the action. You saw Zach Slates as a student of Glen Oak for Perry. I think you understand what Wing T can do.
Yes, I do. He is a big man, and he is going to put in the work over there.
As mentioned before, Alliance will kick off to begin the second half in Akron. They're up by a baker's dozen, and they look to keep it that way. Squib kick to get things back underway in Akron. Fielded at around the 30-yard line. Solid return by Austin. Past the 40 he goes before finally being taken down at their own 42.
Yeah, good play there by Austin to corral that one that was rolling on the ground. Interesting approach going into that. We do have Laundry on the field.
And on top of that, an injured Orangeman.
It is Austin who is down. He got up pretty quickly. Doesn't seem to be anything too major. Jogging off on his own power.
Going back to that last drive of the first half for Ellet, they were knocking on the door 1 yard away. What do they have to change here? And I think the answer is pretty simple.
You can't have back-to-back penalties when you're at the 1 yard line.
I was about to say you have to minimize the penalties. Penalties are inevitable. You just have to keep them to a minimum, and that is the key. If you're Coach Sachs right now, what's your message to your offense?
Well, first play of the game out of halftime, we can't have another penalty, which they just did on the kickoff, which they already had advantage of because Alliance had to kick from 15 yards deeper on the taunting penalty to end the half, and then they give them the field position right back. by getting a penalty of their own.
So now 1st down and 10. Ball will be spotted at the 32-yard line. And we will see what Ellet can cook up to begin this second half. Handoff. It is going to be Knowles. And Knowles is able to dive forward for maybe a gain of 1. Shutting down number 0 is a paramount ideology for Alliance in the second half. 1 play, 1 yard. You'll take that.
100%. If you're Alliance, your biggest goal right now is to not let him beat you.
And as well, you can't let anybody else. You look at Terrence Parker to end that first half. He really got in a rhythm. He looked great.
Yeah, he looked really good, and he was feeding the ball to his wideouts that were making really good plays. I know the guy that's down here being evaluated in front of us, number 7, Jelani Austin, was one of those big play receivers to end the half.
It's a concussion test, you can tell.
Yes,
and that's
it is.
not a good sign at all. 2nd down and 9. Parker running out of time, spins out of 1 tackle, and now he will be dragged to the deck. Just able to get back to the initial line of scrimmage and maybe a yard past, so he does stay exactly where he started. 3rd down and long for Ellet.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if we're going to see any punts this half, as we did not see a single punt in the first half. Everyone went for it on 4th down. Interesting strategy in high school football, especially when you get a lot of defensive stops deep in the other team's territory.
And looking at where the ball is right now, if Ellet doesn't get this, I think you do have to punt.
I would imagine they would. You don't want to give this good a field position to a team that's already up 13-0 on you.
So 3rd down and 9, deep in their own territory. Quarterback rolling out to his right. It's Parker. His pass, it is caught by the big man, and Knowles has the 1st down and then some.
Man, he is a powerful runner. If you get him the ball and you have someone who is not 6'4" or above in front of him, he is running them over.
For our Youngstown folk, I think we compare him to a Chaz Coleman from Warren Harding.
100%. He is a big, strong runner and a great athlete. We'll look here on the replay as he just lowered the shoulder and ran over number 4, who had a great first half.
Belts did have the INT and a sack as well. Ellet able to move the chains and get a massive 1st down. Now let's see if their ideology changes. The Aviators jump the snap, and they are able to take down the ball carrier immediately. Cash Brisker in on the tackle. That time as well, Cooper ran the ball.
Yeah, good play there. It looked like Lucas Adkins kind of got in the way as he got pushed down by number 15, ended up blocking or tackling his own player as he went down.
So now 2nd down and 10. And we take a look in at Ellet's huddle. What do you think the play call is here?
I would expect probably a motion across with Knowles and then running to the strong side.
They need a big down here.
No.
It is Parker. Quick pass. It is caught. A nice simple out route. And he is close to the line to gain. They mark him down at the 45 of Alliance. Now on the near side, a few yards back. It'll be 3rd down and short for Ellet.
Yeah, that will always do. That will always do. You can always take a nice, easy completion and then rely on your athletic wide receivers to run after the catch.
And once again, nice play by Carter. Simple out route once again.
Yeah, and they're doing it efficiently.
And we watched that film. The big play for Ellet was deep shots up the middle, not the sides.
Yeah, and they haven't really taken one up the middle yet, as we see number 6 get outside and have a really nice run in. Think he got the 1st down there? Yes, he did.
Well enough. Parker, he bobbled the snap, pretty much fumbled it, picks it up, moves the chains, and Ellet's offense is back in business and then some.
Interesting that we have not seen number 8 for Ellet, Demetrius Hassel. They were using a lot of 2 QB plays in that first half. We have not yet seen him leave Coach Sachs' side.
And now I see him. You can see him on the bottom of your screen as well at around the 40-yard line, wearing number 8 tonight. 1st down and 10. The Aviators appear to be stacking the box. Miscommunication on the handoff. He bounces it outside, but he is dragged down. A shoestring tackle, and the Aviators down him behind the line of scrimmage.
Terrence
that time,
Parker.
Jaden Cooper.
Terrence Parker is limping around the field right now as he's going over to Coach Sachs to get the play. Looked like he wanted to pull the ball and run on that RPO there, but just did not have the chance. He is limping towards the huddle. Pretty significant. It's pretty easy to see. I wonder if Coach Sachs just asked him about that.
Either way, I think Ellet has shown a lot of promise tonight. Even if this game doesn't go their way, I think they will win at least a few more games this year. They have the talent and clearly the ability. 2nd down and 12. Parker rolling out to his right, loses it, and that will do it for the play. Had time, quickly gone, and he is down. Fast and Brisker in on the hit, and it's 3rd down and long for Ellet.
Yeah, Brody Fast has had a really good game so far. He's been very active in pass rushing, coming out of that linebacker position. He's been playing a lot on the left edge, going after their left tackle.
And Parker takes himself out of the game. You could tell he was hobbling. You get hit one too many times, and now it'll turn back to the sophomore signal caller, Demetrius Halsell.
He's tapping his quad hamstring area on his left leg. Curious to see if he goes over by number 7, his favorite wideout, Jelani Austin, to talk to the trainer.
So 3rd down and 19. He will drop back over the middle. Pass is caught. It's a big play, and I think he is close to the 1st down marker. Maybe a yard shy. What a play.
Great play by Jaden Cooper there.
How about that? Halsell has to come in due to an injury, and he makes the most of his play. Now there is an injured Aviator down back in Ellet territory, and it does not look good. It'll be 4th down and short when we return as this replay rings out. You are watching OHSAA football on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Kavion Thomas, the injured Aviator, able to get off the field with some help. He's not on our defensive depth chart. He got some reps tonight. Unfortunate, he is also the starting right tackle, so we will see how this goes for him.
Yeah, and he's holding his left arm, and that's where they seem to be looking. Whistle before the snap, during the snap. Let's see what we got here.
Maybe the ball was never truly spotted. That could also be the case.
Seems to be.
So 4th down and 1, 6:33 on the clock. If you're Coach Sachs, how do you approach this?
Well, with 4th and 1 here, I'd probably give it to my best player, number 0, Brandon Knowles.
And we'll see if Knowles does get it. No, it's bobbled, and he is down immediately. It is Fast jumping the snap, and it's a turnover on downs.
Went with the QB run. Knowles got out there, tried to block a guy at the 2nd level and did not get there in time. It did not matter, though, as the middle interior, center, and right guard got blown up.
Brody Fast jumped that snap perfectly. Let's watch this one back on the replay. Just went right through.
Straight through.
Video game-esque tonight from Brody Fast. And not even the eldest Fast on the team. You have to look at Grady for that, as he is the senior.
Yeah, he went straight through that like it was a revolving door.
And now here come the Alliance Aviators for the first time on offense in this second half with 6:17 left to go in the 3rd. So a very methodical drive to begin the half by Ellet. And now the ball goes back to J.R. Jackson and Ravon Hawkins. Hawkins will take the handoff, and he will be down immediately. It is Knowles leading the charge.
Yeah, it looks like he wasn't too happy that he didn't get the handoff there on that last play as he broke through there and tackled number 3, Hawkins, as fast as he possibly could.
So now 2nd down and 10. They are going to call that play a wash. If you're J.R. Jackson, I'm looking for one of my big wideouts on the edge. I think maybe Blair out wide, right, left, Tajay. It is Blair on the right side, and Blair has it.
He is a good route runner with phenomenal hands. I love watching him play. He has been great to watch tonight.
And that'll move the chains for an Aviator first down. But I think once again we kind of predicted that play call. You saw Tajay on that streak, a simple slant over the middle, but that simple slant, it can get you a few yards that time, gets them 10.
Yeah, especially when you have a guy who's running routes so well, and number 8 Blair. He is a guy that you see, and there is laundry on the field.
Not only is that 5 yards, but those 5 yards will flip the field and put Alliance in Ellet territory. Now at the 49 of the Orangemen. So first down and 5, and that really does open up the playbook for A-Town.
Yeah, and they flipped the formation here. Got Blair and Nicholson going out to J.R. Jackson's left.
Blair in motion, handoff goes to Hawkins. Hawkins runs into a brick wall, and he is taken down.
Man, outside of that big run he broke off earlier in the game, he has been quiet.
But that one big play put Alliance on the board. 2 touchdowns, Hawkins and Nicholson. The points of difference tonight.
Yeah, and those 2 big plays have really just been the story. We haven't seen a lot out of Alliance's offense other than those plays.
Not at all. Second down and medium. Flag will fly. Wide open Burton has it, and it will not matter, as I think there was some early motion from the Aviators. That's a killer.
I believe they're saying it was actually Cam Burton who caught it.
The play was ruled dead immediately. JR just kind of threw the ball for show.
Yeah, and you might as well, because if that's an offsides, you essentially get a free play, but I think there's...
The whistle blew immediately. That's what it was.
Yeah, and you're hearing it from the Alliance fans over there saying a word that's not too pretty. They do not agree with the refs there.
So now second down and 11 for J.R. Jackson and the offense. Ellet's defense looking to stifle Alliance once again. Flag will fly.
And they give it right back.
My goodness. We talked about it at the beginning of this half. You got to limit these penalties.
Yeah, it's necessary to win these games. And you got Coach Sachs here really getting on, number 57, who did jump off sides.
And looking at the roster, 57 is Desmond Inman, the 5'10", 280-pound sophomore.
Yeah, and that's just a sophomore mistake, you know.
Jackson dropping back on second down and 6. Has Hawkins in the flats. Pass is caught, and Hawkins is able to get out of play just ahead of the marker, and that'll move the chains. Nice first down by Hawkins. Knows a big hit is coming, gets the first down, and takes himself out of the equation.
Yeah, that's how it should be. He did exactly what he needed to, sat down in the flats, waiting for J.R. Jackson to realize that there was nothing over the middle. He was looking for a deep shot to, I believe, Cam Byrne, who was running a post, but did not have it, so he dumped it off, got a nice little gain.
And once again, taking a view of J.R. Jackson and Ravon Hawkins in the backfield, courtesy of our on-field camera. Hawkins flares out of the backfield on first down and 10. Pass caught on the far side. Flags will fly. One in the backfield and one on the near side. And that could be something on the Aviators. I think maybe some kind of illegal procedure.
Holding.
Holding that quick?
I guess so. I didn't necessarily see it, nor do I see the player who they called it on. They don't have a number 69 out there, so I'm not sure exactly who they called that on. Maybe they thought it was 68.
And if that were to be the case, that would be Kanan Jones. So now first down and 20 for the Aviators, as once again a penalty moves back this offense. Jackson, he will drop back, looking to throw. Bryce, once again, we have a flag.
And that is a false start on the Aviators.
I think we are beyond first down in a Walmart parking lot. This might, at this point, be first down and going to class commuting for Mount Union.
Yeah, as somebody who commutes to Mount Union, I can tell you it is not a fun trip. It is actually 25 minutes from my house to Mount Union, which is right on the dot as what they have to get.
So the quarter century mark on first down.
Yeah, it's not what you like to see if you are the Alliance Aviators offense. And there's definitely a false start there.
First down and 30. My goodness. And now another flag on the far side. There was a second flag on the far side. I wonder what that was for. I don't think that was
Looks
related.
like unsportsmanlike conduct.
The student section is booing, but what are we at now? It's on Coach Goodman. First down and 45. So first down and from my house to my home during the actual summer, during actual time. So from Alliance to Strongsville, basically.
Wow.
My goodness.
What a turn here. This is not what I expected out of the Alliance Aviators on their first possession of the second half. They are back to where they started almost.
So first down and 45. Have you ever seen anything like this?
The most similar play I can think of was a couple years ago when Boise State had a 70-yard fumble loss and had 73 yards to go in goal.
And now Ellet jumped. Or did they? We will see. Are they backing
false
up?
Start.
My
they go
goodness.
False start. It is a 1st and 50.
My goodness. We are now at the halfway point to a century.
Coach is over there losing his mind. I can't tell if he is mad at his players or if he is mad at the referees.
First down and parking at any Cleveland Browns game, I guess, or something like that. Clean play to begin. Jackson throws, pass is caught, and that is a solid pickup, but still less than 50% of what he needs to get.
Yeah, good catch there by Nicholson. Hang on, and we have an Ellet player cramping. Cam Byrne is giving him a nice little stretch there.
Good sportsmanship by Cam. In knowing Cam over the past couple of years, that is who he is, a good sportsman player. Second down and 40. I think we need a second, and so does the Ellet player. We step aside on SmeeSports. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Well, Bryce, there's a song. I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more. That's what the Aviators appear to have to do here. Second down and 40, and we started at first down and 50. My goodness, pass over the middle, caught by Blair. He is loose in space, and all of a sudden it is third down and not as unmanageable as expected.
Yeah, I mean, 3rd and 18 is what they're going to say. I think that's a generous spot towards Ellet, but this is definitely doable.
If they pick this up, then my goodness.
This would be a huge swing in this game if Alliance is able to pick this up. And I imagine if they pick this up, this will be a scoring drive.
Jackson dropping back, has some time, flushed out to his left. He will lob it for Cam Burton. Pass, it is. It appears to be caught. And what will they say? Yes, it is. First down, Aviators. Cam Burton brought it in.
Wow. What a play by Cam Burton there.
I saw the foot. I think that was in. Let's watch that one back, though.
I have to agree with you. I think that was in. Really good communication there, though.
Just out in front. Ooh. Tough one. Possession stays with the Aviators. From 1st and 50 to first down again. Hawkins this time. He will be dragged down. And Knowles, he tosses him at the end, but does the right thing and puts up his hands. No flag there.
No, he threw him as the whistle was being blown. You can't react fast enough to let go of a man like that. Plus, as he's letting him go, he's going down towards the ground. But again, we see number 0, Agent 0, Knowles, in the action.
Less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Only the second drive of the frame.
Yeah, and it's going to probably take us to the end of the third quarter, if I had to imagine, if this goes well for Alliance Aviators.
They could also score here. Jackson, nope, we got a flag.
Illegal formation, offsides, I believe.
So this time, it appears to be helping out Alliance.
They are just trading penalties at this point.
I need a flag counter at this point because we have to be well into the teens, if not 20s. Nothing early, just a bunch of false starts. And yet again, we said it during halftime. If you can avoid these mistakes, you have a chance. Both teams do the same.
Yeah, and there's a reason there's been no scoring so far this half. No one can keep a sustainable drive with all these penalties.
So 2nd down and 5 for Alliance. Best spot for them so far in the second half. Pass is caught by Blair. Blair cuts it back, stays in bounds, and he is able to work his way into the red zone, past the 15 potentially. But in the end, they give him the 16.
And a hold on Alliance.
So opposed to going into the red zone and getting a first down, they'll march right back.
It looked like it was on the edge, whoever the wideout was over here blocking for Blair late in that play seemed to get the penalty.
And once again, we will go down below for our POV angle. You can see some plays being called by Ellet. I'm a big fan of that camera being down there tonight, Bryce. It has been beautiful to see up close the Alliance Aviators and the Ellet Orangemen.
Yeah, I like it.
2nd down and 12. Jackson calls a man in motion. He will drop back, steps up in the pocket, has a man open on the far side. It is Blair. Blair goes for the first down, but is down before he can extend. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Aviators.
Yeah, and you have number 6, it looks like Cam Byrne being a little frustrated over the middle there as there was no safety near him. He just needed J.R. Jackson to take a look over the middle of the field, see how wide open he was, and he probably had a walk-in touchdown.
So now 30 seconds left to play in quarter number 3. Jackson tries the hard count now, goes for a play from Coach Goodman. Wait, hold on. What was the announcement?
Kids be stupid.
And I think if that picked up on the mic, I'm pretty sure that sums up all you need to know from that. It happens. People get rowdy at these events, but you always have to keep it close, if that makes sense. But either way, we have 15 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Alliance, they control this, but Ellet, I'm impressed with how they have carried themselves tonight.
100%. And I know that Ellet was heavily unfavored in this matchup, and we really expected this to be almost a blowout. But they've held their own really well, especially with the amount of penalties that have gone on and the amount of delays and fluke injuries. We've seen a really competitive game out of this Ellet team, and they're doing really well so far.
Score update, end of the third quarter, Benedictine 21, NDCL 14.
My picks are just going out the window.
End of the third quarter, Highland 41, Aurora 0. Casey Meister is that guy. Jackson, he will fumble the snap, rolls out to his left. It's improv time for JR, spins through one hit, and he will slide down. Give him the first down, and Action Jackson will ring in the fourth quarter, depending on how they roll this.
Well, they never started the clock.
That's what I mean by how they rule this. There's the winding of the clock, and yes, Action Jackson gives us this to welcome us to the fourth quarter and put a nice bookend on the third. Wow. Elusiveness from JR reminds us of another quarterback named Jackson.
Yes, it does. Alumni of Louisville and a phenomenal starting quarterback and MVP in the National Football League, Lamar Jackson, who is very elusive and broke out in high school with that highlight clip of him backstepping a defender and sending him into the stands.
12 minutes left to go in Akron. Alliance 13, Ellet 0 your score. You are watching OHSAA football on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. "12 minutes left to go in Akron. Alliance finds themselves up 13-0 on the Orangemen of Ellet, and they are knocking on the door of their third touchdown tonight. Handoff to Hawkins gets us underway, and Ravon is down quickly.
Yeah, tough run there. Tried to go straight up the gut and did not get a lot of penetration. Looks like they're giving him 2 yards.
So clock running, less than 12 minutes to go. And Alliance, you have to feel with a touchdown here, will book this one, and they will improve to 3-1. Ellet's still a resilient group. We will see how they respond on offense on their next possession. Once again, only drive number 2 of this second half. And you know, we've had more than 2 of what just happened there, a penalty.
Yeah, another penalty on Ellet. It's been a rough one for both sides for penalties. And that just pushes the Aviators a hair closer.
We've seen Ravon score. We've seen Tajay. Is this JR's time with his legs?
I think so, and they're bringing out a jumbo package. You're taking 2 wideouts off. You're bringing on a fullback and a tight end, it looks like. This would be a great time to either let Hawkins just run it up the middle and push it in, or let JR do it with his legs.
Could also be a spot for Brody Fast or Alex Hartman. So second down and goal. Hawkins bouncing to his right, gets to the edge, and he will be down behind the line of scrimmage. Another TFL for Ellet. This time it's Terrence Parker.
Really good play there, though, to actually get a few yards, and we have an Aviator down.
And that does look, at least
Hawkins.
right now, yes, Hawkins. And as Hawkins will get attended to, we will step aside on Smee Sports for a moment as he will be seen by the trainer. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Hawkins able to get off the field with some help. Third down and goal. Ball spotted at the 5. Jackson rolling to his left. Pass is incomplete. Out of a cannon. The DB tips it away.
Great job by Jaden Cooper there. Phenomenal play.
And that'll bring up 4th down and actually 4. As they need to get to the 1-yard line and misspoke moments ago. I think you keep the offense out here. At worst, you pin them deep.
Yeah, and you still have a chance to get a first down. It's not first and goal. You have a chance. If you get to the 1, you get a whole set of new downs.
4 chances to punch it in. But right now, this is what matters. 4th down and goal. Jackson, he will run it up the middle. And Action Jackson is in. Touchdown Alliance.
Phenomenal run there. Didn't have anything to make a play with the wideout. Saw it open up in the middle. And he ran straight through that hole as fast as he could. Great play.
We foreshadowed it moments ago. Was this the play that JR would get in the end zone? Easy answer, it's yes. J.R. Jackson, he has been good tonight. Alliance, they need another step after this game, but for now, they will take this. Extra point is good, and they are now up 20-0 on the Ellet Orangemen. Not the desired margin of victory quite yet, but still for Alliance, a win's a win. If it holds 3-1, you're back to where you were last year with 6 more games to play. Canton Central Catholic and then your 5 conference games.
Yeah, and I think they've done really good job dealing with the mistakes they've had tonight. Obviously, we expected this to be a better win for them coming off of the ranked win they had against Streetsboro. But, you know, you can never ask for too much, and you'll definitely settle with this win. It's not a pretty win, but it's a win.
And going back to last year, this game was at Mount Union, 45-24. Whole host of offense. Tonight, yeah, not so much. No scoring until, I would say, the halfway point of the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it was really quiet that whole first quarter. We got 2 breakaway plays the next 2 possessions from Alliance, and then this whole third quarter was pretty quiet.
So now this will bring us to the 2-hour mark officially, as it is now 9 p.m. in Akron. Alliance up 20-zip. It is J.R. Jackson on to send it away for the Aviators, now working left to right. And here is Jackson's boot. It will scurry. And I think for the second time today, Jackson hits it out.
Yeah. Doesn't seem too pleased about that as he throws the kicking stand away. Kicking tee, some may say. Definitely frustrated there, but now he has to make some plays on defense.
So now it is 10:36 on the clock. If you're Ellet, how do you manage getting Knowles the ball and working quick up the field? Because the best way to get Knowles the ball, it's handing it to him.
Yeah, you have to be able to work with tempo here. We can't have super long play calls, maybe even call a second play in the huddle. Be ready to go. You can't have mistakes either. Obviously, a penalty will stop the clock, but it puts you behind schedule in terms of yards.
And that is going to be the key thing to look at for Akron Ellet here. So first down at 10, ball spotted at the 35-yard line. Maybe the last chance for the Orangemen to get back into this one. Parker, he will drop to his right, ends up flicking it in the end. It is a great play call, and that is enough to keep them ahead of schedule.
Good run by Jaden Cooper there, and good decision by Parker.
The NCAA option play on display.
Yeah, we were talking about it off air for a little bit. This Ellet offense really reminds us of a military academy using 2 quarterback systems, a lot of option plays, some RPO in the red zone.
And I agree. You look at the way that they have played, they have been tremendous today in some regards. This is a better result than they expected, but still they felt like they could have done more. And that is going to be the key thing to look at. High pass in the flats is caught, and it is Belt getting there really quick.
And he's had a great game.
And that'll set up third down and short. That pass caught this time by Jelani Austin.
Johnny Belts has had a phenomenal game.
So third down and 3. Knowles has to, I think, get it here.
I would imagine.
Brandon Knowles has been great tonight. I don't know, player of the game worthy given the result, but I would say he's in that conversation.
100%. He's done so much, both on offense and defense. And if you're looking at the Aviators, yes, they've won, but it's been a little bit of everyone chipping in.
Good carry here. The ball is loose. It is on the deck. Brisker goes for it, and he does get it. Possession goes back to the Aviators.
Wow.
One of the cleanest hits and recoveries that you will see this season.
I don't even know if he got hit there. It kind of looks like he saw such a big hole that he started fumbling with the ball.
And Belts, he is shaken up on the play, loses it, and you'll see Brisker right there. He goes in with that right shoulder, creates separation, hooks around it, gives it a side hug. And that is enough to give the ball back to the Aviators. 9:02 on the clock. This is where they go for that dagger if they already haven't found it.
Yeah, really good play. And then for Ellet, we have Jelani Austin over here with a limp. He's holding his side oblique area, his left oblique specifically. I would like to say, though, after that play, Brandon Knowles, again, being a leader, talking to number 6 Parker after he had that fumble, bringing his head up. Oh, and the ball's on the ground.
Another fumble. We will see who has it. And I think now they're calling him down.
They're saying he was down.
So a big one there because Ellet did come up with the loose ball. And that time it was Michael Williams on the carry. And Williams will come out of the game. And now it appears that it is Traven Wilkes, Wilkes, correct. The sophomore. He is coming in. Haven't really seen him much this year, but a chance to get a potential glimpse into the future. 6 carries, 13 yards so far in 2025. Wilkes, he will take the handoff, gets some good space, and he does enough to move the chains for a first down.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Williams is going. Looked like he was walking towards the locker room. He is quite fired up on the sideline.
So something must have happened. And Hawkins, he is going as well. We will see what's happening there, but that is a developing situation. And it could also be Williams heated and needing a moment to walk it off. We shall see. First down and 10. Handoff, it is Wilkes. Wilkes, plenty of room up the gut. And that'll be his biggest run of the season. Give him 11. And once again, he entered play tonight with 13 total yards on 6 carries.
Yeah, and I really liked him there. He has a really good burst out of the backfield. As soon as he touched that ball and saw the gap, saw the hole he was supposed to find, just took off.
And now 7:33 and counting. That clock just continues to tick. Alliance, every passing second, a moment closer to improving to 3-1. Jackson, he will clap, hands it off. Wilkes up the middle. Wilkes is loose, plenty of space, and he will be taken down from behind inside the red zone. They will give him to the 16 of Ellet's.
He's at least doubled his season's total already. That is a great job by him to shoot through that gap, and really good job by the Alliance Aviators offensive line.
And I think on top of that, with that one rush alone, he doubled it entering play tonight. Oh, yeah, for sure. At least doubled it. Maybe more. Now less than 7 minutes to go. First down and 10 at the 11 of the Orangemen. Handoff, Wilkes once again. This time they get to him quicker. And Knowles plays a part in it again.
Who else would you expect in the backfield than Brandon Knowles? He has had such a good game.
Nothing but good to say about his performance tonight. But still, you have to wonder, if he was in the end zone for that one play to end the first half, is this a different ball game?
It has to be. That would give Ellet a lot of momentum heading into half, and they would have come out on that first drive and probably taken that momentum maybe down to score.
I hate to play the if this, then that game, but you have to in a matchup like this. Jackson pulls back, throws to the flats. It is caught by Hartman, and Hartman takes it in. Touchdown, Alliance! And that is the dagger inserted into Ellet's. Hartman was QB2 last year, moved to play fullback / tight end. One reception before that, it was for negative yards. This time, it is for 6 points.
Yeah, that was a really good play there. Obviously, it broke down a little bit as J.R. Jackson had to scramble to his left, more comfortable side throwing, dumps it off to number 15, Hartman, and he scampers into the end zone. And the kick is straight back into the long snapper.
So maybe not the return that the long snapper would have hoped for. Alliance up by 26, 4 points away from that running clock. It wasn't the prettiest game, but Alliance, they have 1 foot in the door, 1 foot into the celebrations of 3-1. As the teams get ready for the next drive, we will step aside. 6:07 on the clock. Alliance poised to improve to 3-1. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. Once again, it is the Pride of the Sky on the far side giving us a joyous tune, I'm sure, no doubt, led by the lovely and one of our color commentators, Cooper Fontaine.
Yeah, I imagine he's over there having a great time as J.R. Jackson kicks the ball out of bounds again for the 3rd time today.
The time was good. It still is. but that is something that they will take into the next game against Canton Central Catholic. Still an interesting game. Brock Berkman had that scary injury in week 1. I believe he is done for the year. Canton Central right now, they are down big to Salem. They might be 0-5 after that game. Alliance, if they can go to 4-1 and then begin EBC play, once again next week begins a 3-game homestand, then they are looking good for the playoffs and potentially a home game.
Yeah, I think that would set them up for a great position to get a really good seeding in this OHSAA newly formed playoff bracket that was installed last year.
And I believe Ursuline was Region 9, with them ending their season. I think they were supposed to be number 9. That moves them up to 8.
Yeah.
All he needs top 8. But the Orangemen rather, one last chance here to get back in. It's down 26-0, 6 minutes to work with. They would need a lot of offense. Pass is caught by Austin. It looked like Alliance thought the play wasn't happening.
Yeah, interesting play recognition there. They just weren't really quick to the ball. Also having a nickel package out there with 5 DBs. Playing a little bit more conservative, not looking for Ella to have any big plays. Just keep them in bounds, keep the clock running, and close this one out.
And that has to be the goal. Things haven't gone perfect tonight for Alliance. A win's a win, and this is where you have to take the negatives and turn them into positives. It's a growing moment, and this is an experience that they can take into next week against Canton Central. Once again, it is Austin. That time he drops it incomplete, and that'll set up 3rd down and short for the Orangemen.
Yeah, and we got some heads down for the Orangemen, which is never a good sign. Feeling a little defeated. That's not what you want to see out of a team that can still compete. I mean, 26-0 isn't the end of a game, especially with 6 minutes left. You get a couple turnovers, some big plays. You can always make at least a dividend in this score.
I think Wheaton right now would point to the score and say it's not done.
I think they would definitely agree, as they put up quite a chunk of points in that second half against Mount Union.
4th quarter to be exact, down by 30. This time it is taken by the quarterback, and Parker, he is close to the line to gain, and instead he is able to get more than enough, this time 3 yards ahead of it. 1st down for Ellet. And before this next play, once again, join us tomorrow at 6:15 p.m. for the SmeeSports Pregame Show, leading up to kickoff at Brooklyn Memorial Stadium at 7 p.m. It is the Holy Name Green Wave taking on the Madison Blue Streaks. Then on Sunday, why not some fall ball? 12 and 3:30 first pitches. It is Tri-C taking on Terrace State. Our first look at this new crop of talent led out by A.J. Trobenter, Andy Schneider, and a few more key pieces. 1st down and 10. Parker's pass over the middle. It is incomplete. Jackson may be a hair early on the coverage, but no flag will be thrown. Intended target that time, Trey Carter.
Yeah, I think they're going to say they didn't have a chance to catch the ball as it was a couple feet behind him. Not great ball placement there, but that was probably the first time you've seen Elliott take a shot up the middle other than that one seam they took early in the 3rd quarter.
Elliott not too far of a drive for next week, as they will be down the road at Mogador. Then to round out their season, it is games at East, then at home against Booktool and North, then at Garfield and Firestone on the final 2 Saturdays of the season to round out the 10-game regular season campaign. Parker rolling to his right on 2nd down and 10. Now back to his left, evading Hartman. A chance to do some magic here, and he just steps out of bounds.
Really good play there. Really good improvisation, and ability to get out of bounds is huge to stop that clock.
I want to know how many yards he covered in the backfield there, as it was a good chunk.
Yeah, I don't think I would have the endurance to do that, but I'm glad he does.
And I think we all know that I definitely do not have the endurance for something like that. So now that'll bring up 3rd down and 5. 5:34 on the clock as he came out of bounds to stop the clock. Ellet, they need a good play here as they are now just into Aviator territory. Parker, he will drop back, has some time. His pass incomplete. It is batted away.
Great play by King there.
Xavion King. First time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, he hasn't been very active, but really good play there as the Mike linebacker shooting down on that little curl route, not allowing a completion.
So now 4th down and 5, and if Ella doesn't get it, that will officially do it.
Curious to see what Alliance does here if they bring pressure or if they want somebody to contain the QB, not allow him to get out of the pocket, because Parker has been a nuisance outside the pocket tonight.
Well, here we go. 4th down and 5. Parker, he will take it himself, and he is able to spin his way to a first down. And the drive will continue for Ellet.
Well, he stayed inside the pocket and just ran straight through him.
It looked like a pseudo QB draw. I think that wasn't the design, but I think he looked at the setup and said, I'm taking it myself.
Yeah, and I think as he should. I think that's a really good situation for him when he sees that. And we have number 8, Demetrius Housel, coming in the game as QB, as number 6, Terrence Parker, exits the game to get a drink really quick.
So Halsell back in. When Parker was knocked out earlier on, he did come in and had a couple of really good passes, especially to the boundaries. So we will see what the sophomore can do on 1st down and 10. He will take the heave-ho up the sideline, and J.R. Jackson picks it up!
Wow.
What a catch by J.R. Jackson! Axon Jackson ices it.
Yeah, I think that will probably put the icing on the cake there, as it is going to be really hard for Ellet to get the ball back and score a couple times. And you'll probably end up seeing Alliance's second-team guys come in, make sure they get reps. It looks like J.R. Jackson is jogging off the field after that really good interception, coming back to the ball as it was underthrown.
Jackson's 3rd INT of the season. Team high as well. And on top of that, INT number 6 this campaign for the Aviators, 2 tonight.
Never mind, J.R. Jackson is coming back out here to lead the offense.
And I think this is just going to be simple handoff mode.
I would imagine, as we do not see Hawkins or Michael Williams out there. So it'll be number 16, again, taking these handoffs.
Handoff, it is on the far side, and not much going for the Aviator offense. And a bit of follow-through on the end of it, but that will keep the clock going, as we are now with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to play. Reminder to stay tuned after this game goes final, as we will go to commercial one final time, then announce our player of the game presented by SmeeSports. A lot of good candidates tonight for the Aviators, so we will have a conversation during the break and then go from there to see who is given that award. I believe J.R. Jackson got our first award for Alliance this season, and that was a while back. Handoff once again, it is going to be Wilkes, and he is able to get a couple this time, setting up 3rd down and long.
Man, I really like him as a back.
But if I'm not mistaken, if I go through the list of players of the game so far, as we have had 4, Nick Nemeth week 1 against Normandy for Holy Name. Game 2, JR over Padua got player of the game. Nathan Lennon got player of the game for Gilmore against Holy Name. Then last week, Timmy Kirkpatrick got player of the game last week. Linkus was the honorable mention.
No offensive line love?
Offensive games. Jackson looking to throw over the middle, bobbled, and Blair is unable to come up with it in the end. A rare drop from Jaron Blair, and that'll set up 4th down and long. And I think for the first time today, we will see a punt.
Yeah, it would appear so.
Frustrating for JR and the offense. He had the pass just dropped. That's something that they will work out during this upcoming week of practice. Obviously, they're going to celebrate this result tonight. But tomorrow, it is back to the film room, it is back to the weight room, and it is back to Len Dawson Field for some practice.
Yeah, and that's his only drop of the game, and he's been super efficient so far through this game.
And here comes the boot from J.R. Jackson, a hefty one at that, and it is muffed. He needs to get a glove on it, and he will behind his own 40, and he will get hit heavily. The Aviators swarm, taking advantage of Austin's muff.
And an Ellet avoids disaster there. That could have been really bad for these Orangemen, as they're trying to scrape away a few points to make this game look a little bit better in the box score.
And once again, if you want more football, this is the place to be tomorrow night. Join us at 6:15 p.m. for the SmeeSports Pregame Show live from Brooklyn Memorial Stadium. Then at 7 p.m. for kickoff. Holy Name, they look to improve to 3-1 on the year by taking on the Madison Blue Streaks. Madison last year, 24-7 victory over the Namers. A lot of that came in the 4th quarter. It is a battle between the Cleveland area and the true east side, as Madison is out, I believe, near Lake County.
Yeah, and I think it will be a really good game. It will be a fun matchup, and I'm glad we're back out there for some more football. I know it's not necessarily Friday night lights, but high school football is always fun to watch.
And that'll mark the halfway point of our season, as this is doubleheader 2 of 3. Awkward reception of the snap on the bounce. Quarterback still up, and finally he goes down. Also tried evading the hits, but when that ball bounced to him, the play was doomed from the start.
Yeah, not a great snap there. That's been something they've seen throughout the game. There's been a couple of rough snaps that they have to really clean up through this week of practice. It can't happen. You have to have a clean snap to get the quarterback into rhythm early on in the play.
So 2nd down and 22. Ellet continuing to have this clock run. And as well during postgame, we will give some final score updates from around the grounds. A lot of games going final as we speak, and we will be joining them again in a few moments. So 2nd down and 21, they say, as they change it after the fact. Sanders gets a hand on him, and finally he takes himself out of the equation. Solid run by Jaden Cooper.
Yeah, and he's had a pretty good day so far. On the ground, he's rushed for, it's got to be around 30 yards. I know he's had a few breakaway runs, but he's also had a couple stopped in the backfield. But he's been really effective as a DB so far today with 2 pass deflections.
So 3rd down and 16. Clock stops at 2:10 as he took himself out of the equation. And once again, Alliance, 3 wins all of last season. They will have that through 4 games this year. Truly a tremendous job by Coach Goodman and company to get to this point. A deep throw here on 3rd down. Jackson, he gets it again. My goodness, J.R. Jackson. And he wants more on the return, finally taking himself out of the equation.
Oh my, J.R. Jackson. Looking like Randy Moss back there in the backfield as he goes over number 7, snags that out of the air and steals it from him.
Wow. We will watch this one back. Takes the deep heave-ho, and there it is at the end. J.R. Jackson, what a catch. And now we will see what the flag means. $1:56 on the clock. 2 touchdowns today for JR, 1 passing, 1 rushing, 2 INTs as well.
Yeah, and they called a late hit, unnecessary roughness on Ellet. Alliance gives some courtesy and declines that penalty.
And now it's time to simply run out the clock for Coach Goodman and company. What a response.
Man, what a play by J.R. Jackson. 2nd pick of the night, an absolutely phenomenal grab there. And that seals the deal.
As well, Alliance had 4 interceptions through 3 games entering play tonight. 3 here. Belt had the other, if I'm not mistaken, along with a sack. Best formation in all of football here for the Alliance Aviators. It is victory formation. JR takes a couple of steps back and plants his knee for the first time here. 3 timeouts left for Ellet, and I think, obviously, this is one that you just let go.
Yeah, there's no point to burn timeouts here. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to prolong the pain. If only this were college football 25 and you had an auto clock run off.
And the goal is simple here. Just take as much time off as you can. Take another knee and start to celebrate 3 and 1.
Yeah, begin talking about what you're going to eat afterwards, where you're going to party it up. I know Glen Oak, we always used to go to Swenson's and get milkshakes after our wins.
And here is another knee. So now 3rd down and long. It's not going to matter. All he has to do is wait until the clock reads 39. He will take the knee, and that'll send us into the weekend. Alliance, they will improve to 3 and 1 on the year. Ellet falling to 1 and 3. Make sure you stick with us after our final commercial break as we will announce our player of the game presented by SmeeSports. And now we are at the magic time. Now 40 seconds, 39. This will be the last play of the game. J.R. Jackson, he will take a knee, and Alliance begins the year 3 and 1 as they pitch a shutout on the road, taking down Ellet 26-0 in Akron. What a win for the Aviators. And once again, when Zerbrugg left the program, it was always going to be a challenge to get back to their best. Right now, I'm sure Brendan, if he is watching, has to be pleased with the performance of his alma mater.
I think he should be. I think they came out and did what they had to do to win. Even though there was a lot of mental mistakes with penalties, they came out here and they got the job done. And I think if you're Ellet, you have to be happy with this result as you held on for longer than anyone I think was expecting other than Ellet fans.
And there it is officially set in stadium. 26-0 your final. Coach Goodman and company, they get the job done, and they improve to 3-1 on the year. One final commercial break. Our thoughts and player of the game up next when we return here to Akron. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. (26-0) Alliance gets the win here in Akron on the road at Ellet. Your player of the game presented by SmeeSports tonight. It goes to the big man, J.R. Jackson. 2 touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 rushing. And on top of that, 2 INTs in the second half. Action Jackson, it took him a minute to heat up, but when he got hot, man, was he on fire.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal game. Obviously, that last interception sealed the deal on him earning player of the game titles. But overall, running the offense, creating plays with his feet, being active on the defense, he did everything they needed to do to win tonight. And he was the most valuable player for this Alliance Aviators team, who wanted to get another win, get to 3-1, and begin their stretch of home games.
And as a rendition of Carmen, Ohio rings out for the Ellet Orangemen, we'll go around the grounds for some final score updates before we sign off here. Your final back in Alliance, Louisville 45, Marlington 7, a big win. As for Padua, they looked good tonight, and it's just the end of the first half now, 27-13 Padua. Once again, that was a 7:30 start, so they are well behind there. So we will see how that one ends up playing out. As well, St. Ed's with a $141. Brandon White, he ices it 28-14. Ed's on top, and they look to be on their way to a victory. As for the NDCL game, 28-14. Benny does get the win over the Lions. A big one over there. As for another big one, Brecksville and Nordonia. End of the third quarter, Nordonia 20, Brecksville 13, still in it. And one more just before we are done. We have actually a pair here. Salem 42-20 on Canton Central. Fitch 17-14 over Riverside Painesville. Warren Harding up 42-6 on St. V's. Mooney and Steubenville 7:29 to go, tied at 21. And I did see an update here. West Branch 27-6 over Cheney. The big one we're looking for is Canfield Poland 28-13 Canfield, the last update. It looks like the Cardinals are going to get that win, and they take down the Seminarians. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFist2024 on Twitter, as well subscribe down below to the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Enable push notifications to be notified when we upload or go live. Our goal is 5,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. Now within 60 of that goal at the last time of looking. So if you are new, go down below and subscribe. There is no added cost, but it greatly helps out all that we do here at SmeeSports. Once again, 3 games this weekend. Tomorrow at Brooklyn, 6:15 pregame, 7 p.m. kickoff, Holy Name and Madison football. Then on Sunday, it's a doubleheader at Ron Model Field. Tri-C taking on OCCAC rivals Terra State. 12 and 3:30 first pitches. But that will do it for us here in Akron. And I would be remiss if I didn't say our next time seeing the Aviators. That is on Monday, and that'll be the girls' soccer game, 7 p.m. at Rock Hill, as they welcome in the Youngstown Boardman sponsors. Now that'll do it for us here in Akron. Alliance 26, Ellet 0, your final at Ellet High School. For Bryce Fisher, I am Nathan Smee saying so long from Akron, and we will see you again tomorrow for our 6th high school football game of the season. But this has been OHSAA Football on Smee Sports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Thank you all once again for tuning in, and we will see you again next time.